Wow. Hey, much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. Thanks for tuning in once again. We got another episode of Genealogical Stories. And, you know, just because I know it's a little controversial, just because P. Diddy's on the spotlight now, I decided to go ahead and, take a look at his ancestry and genealogy. I thought it would be interesting, and I thought we might get some views and people to check out the channel and all that, and see how we do this genealogical work, right? Hope you guys don't mind. Again, we're not here worshiping or idolizing him. It's just about his ancestry, okay? So don't kill me for that, all right? Come on, let's get the likes up. Let's share the video. We need more people in the house. Wow, thanks for tuning in. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. You guys can hear me, right? You guys can hear me talk? All right. Let me know. Hey, so right away, again, we're on episode 20. You don't know, I've done a lot of genealogies, hundreds of them, but I started doing like my own series, you know, certain historical people from the US, celebrities, things like that. We got Du Bois, we got Jabari, we got Sarah Rector, which is colored girl, we got Tupac, we got Nat Turner, we got Michael Jackson, Harriet Tubman. Oh, we got Scotia Gato Tia Tefi. We got Beyonce, Jay-Z. We got Keanu Reeves, that was a good one. LeBron James. We got James Brown, the Godfather of Soul. We got Chris Brown. We actually got two parts of Chris Brown just because I did it live and I wanted to kind of like not do like 4 or 5 hour videos. I still owe you guys a part 3. We got to do his maternal side. I'm literally done with that. I just haven't, put it together for you guys. We might just do it this week. We're gonna do Chris Brown's maternal side. That will probably be episode 21. We've done Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, their genealogy. We've done Silas Jefferson's, the Creek Indian, right? We've done his ancestry, very complex. We've done Chief Oshkosh's genealogy, and I wanted to actually prove something when it came to so-called Native Americans, show their genealogy is also very complex. They're also mixed. Everybody's mixed, guys. All right, nobody's 100% anything. Today we're gonna go ahead and look into Sean P. Diddy Combs' genealogy. Again, only because he's in the limelight right now. All right, hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for again tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, being here. Yeah. I literally had to just literally read this right now. They almost got me. They updated my Zoom. I couldn't find anything. They made me download this extra app. I mean, I had to figure it out. I did though. I did. Don't worry about it. Ethnicity of celebs. ethnicelebs.com. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if the music ever gets too loud in the background. All right, we're just gonna meditate a little bit. So Sean Combs, huh? Birth Sean John Combs. All right, you guys know the clothing line and all that. He was born in Harlem, New York. Birth on November 4th, 1969. Ethnicity, Dodge the hijack. He's an American. Well, we'll see, what we found on his genealogy. Sean Combs is an American rapper, record producer. Just in case you don't know, just in case you're living under a rock, you don't follow hip hop or anybody in the hip hop industry. He's a record producer, an executive actor. They say singer, songwriter. Entrepreneur for sure, right? He is a hustler, right? He was part of a musical group, Diddy, Dirty Money, joining Kalina Harper and Don Richard. He has also been known as Diddy, P. Diddy, Puffy, Puff, Puff Daddy, and Love. He got a lot of names, man. Why he keep changing his names, huh? Sean is the son of Johnny Smalls and Melvin Earl Combs. He has a son with his former partner, fashion designer, stylist Misa Hilton Brim. 4 children, including actor, recording artist, and entrepreneur Quincy. With his former partner, model Kimberly Porter, rest in peace, a daughter with Sarah Chapman, and a daughter with Dana Tran. Sean adopted Quincy while in a relationship with Kimberly. In 2022, Sean and his son King Combs were the first father-son duo to have simultaneous #1 hit songs. Oh, good for them. Sean's paternal grandfather was Isaac Combs, the son of Isaac Combs and Daisy Curtis. We're going to verify all this. Sean's grandfather, Isaac, was born in Maryland. Daisy was the daughter of Charles Curtis and Mary Alsop. Sean's paternal grandmother was Helen Davis, the daughter of John Henry Davis and Mammy Marnie Mason. Sean's maternal grandfather was named Herbert Smalls, the son of Clayton Smalls and Anna. Clayton was the son of Louis Smalls and Mary. Sean's maternal grandmother was Jessie Miriam Collier, the daughter of Judge Julius Collier and Maisie Anderson. Judge was the son of Garrison Collier and Anna Glover. Macy was the daughter of Adam Anderson and Hester Bannister or Baumster. Says here, a DNA test on the show Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr. found that he was a common ancestor with actors and singer Audra McDonald, huh? So we're gonna take a little bit of those look at that clips from this episode of Finding Your Roots. Hopefully we don't get, copyright and all that. And if we do, we're gonna have to remove it. I'll put this at the end just in case. And if, in case we got ran into trouble, we'll just, remove it once it's up. And hopefully the video will be able to stay up. Uh, and here's your sources supposedly. All right, so that's just a brief, this is that website where I kind of get a lot of help to get my tree started sometimes if I don't know anything about the celebrities. Again, the notorious, the notorious, now criminal, now in jail, P. Diddy. Mail Online says Sean Combs left conflicted as he told his third great grandfather was a free man in 1850s Maryland. A free man, huh? He wasn't a slave, huh? Maryland, huh? Something about Maryland and DC, huh? Something about Maryland, DC that I'm starting to realize. And it's funny how a lot of the, a lot of guys might not understand what I'm talking about when I say abos, but we're not meaning it in a bad way. That's what literally they call themselves. A lot of these YouTubers who don't, even do their genealogy, and they want to point fingers at everybody and say they're the only Indians because they so-called black. Well, a lot of these people come out of Maryland and DC, ironically. Yeah, just like Diddy's people. Yeah. So it says, as he says, a slave state where 90% of blacks were enslaved, dodged a hijack. That's what they teach you in school. That's not true. Because they want you to think a lot of these people that were being classed as white were pale skinned, and they weren't. They were black folks too. And they just want you to think that only 10% were free there. That's not true, guys. I've done a lot of people from Maryland, way more than 10%. Either way. Finding Roots host to tell rapper that his ancestors were free people. Host Henry Louis Gates says this was extremely rare. Stop lying, Gates. Gatekeeper. However, it's most likely because slave owners in Maryland were beginning to free their captives. Most likely, this is them conjecturing and trying to convince you. Combs says he felt conflicted upon hearing this information. Oh, he felt conflicted, huh? He felt conflicted. Says Sean Diddy Combs was left feeling conflicted after being told his third great grandfather was born a free man in 1850, despite living in a slave state, Maryland, huh? Even though supposedly 90% were enslaved, his particular family was free, huh? What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Yeah. An emotional episode, Finding Your Roots family reunion that airs on Tuesday. Well, this is old, right? We're going to show little clips of it. Was told that while it's extremely rare for African Americans to have had free ancestors during the mid 1800s, his relation, Robert Alsop, was one such individual. Even though it's rare, man. Even though it's rare, trust me. Just trust me. Why? Because I'm Henry Gates, just trust me. Show host Henry Louis Gates told Combs, make no mistake about it, man. This is not a typical of the black experience. Stop lying. We've already proved otherwise. And if you're new to the channel, catch up. And if you're gonna get in here with your feelings hurt and all that, and you're pro-Pan-African and you believe the whole West African slave trade, and you believe that all Europeans were white and that all black folks came from African slaves, then you might be hurt, when you hear me talking, catch up on the videos. This ain't personal, and empty your cup. Are you here for truth, or are you here just to judge and stick to beliefs that are lies, right? So here's a little clip of that, all right? And then they just show random pictures that has nothing to do with him, but maybe. But again, I find a lot of pictures like this of rich, wealthy looking black folks in the 1800s. A lot of pictures on Pinterest, you guys can see. Of course, they're not going to tell us who these people are. And a lot of these people are your so-called whites, free whites and all that. Remember what free whites included: Moors, Sephardic Jews, included black Europeans. All right, we've broken this down, guys. All right, so, all right. Let's get started here. Again, we're going to ancestry.com. All right. We're gonna go ahead. Hold on, guys. Let me just. It's all right. Let me just close some of these because it gets confusing for you guys. All right. We're just gonna go up certain lines. Just how guys how we do it. We're gonna go up certain lines. One by one. All right. Make sure you subscribe. If you want to chat, especially subscribe. All right. He's a huge liar. And Henry Gates, right? He's be making fun of people. He's laughing all the time as he's lying. Just be laughing away. All right. So again, Sean Combs. We got one of his wives here, Kim Porter, who just died all of a sudden, right? They say, they gave us reasons, but her dad is actually. I was reading this week. Her dad is actually questioning, and it's a whole controversy. He feels like, hey, something bad happened to her. Imagine what she knows, or she knew. Sorry, rest in peace. But hey, let me know in the comment section if you guys want me to do her genealogy too. I mean, is she that popular? Do you guys want to know? Let me know. And since I got her here, I'll go ahead and start it. I do have her parents. I didn't continue. But again, we're doing P. Diddy today, Sean Combs. Again, Sean Combs, born in Harlem, 1969. Let's see, we got some pictures here. I know a lot. Okay, we'll go to his dad. Okay. Well, tell me in the comment section, not in the chat, because I might not have the chat, in the other comment section. So, P. Diddy's parents is, again, Melvin Earl Combs and Janice Smalls. Did you guys know his mom was last name Smalls? I started thinking, who named Biggie Smalls? That's not his real name. I think he's a Wallace, Christopher Wallace or something like that. He don't have Smalls. So who named him Smalls? That's very, I think it's a very big coincidence that his mom is named Smalls and that he signed Biggie Smalls, right? Anyways, go up to his dad, Melvin Earl Combs. Those are his uncles right there. And let's go to the gallery real quick. So yeah, you guys, that's his an old picture of his mom and dad. That might be him right there. And we're gonna read how he passed away. We're gonna hear it from Gates too, for notorious reasons. All right. Let's see what the gallery's telling us about Melvin. So it says here, I know who killed Melvin. He says, his face wary but relieved as he speaks on Melvin's death publicly for the first time. He was a friend of mine, friend of Melvin's too. Helton was sent to Lewisburg Federal Prison in 1972 on a drug conviction. There he met up with an old friend, Walter Grant. All right, so they're talking about who possibly killed him, But so what happened with his dad is that supposedly he died. He was murdered in 72 at the age of 33 during a bad drug deal. That's what they say. All right. It says Braham entered the house. Melvin Combs, who was known to officers, arrived at the same location carrying a bag. Melvin entered the house and not long after left carrying a different bag. The surveillance officer relayed their observations to the supervisor, who was still en route to that location, but the supervisor was reluctant to authorize the arrest of Melvin Combs based on the observations. Melvin Combs was permitted to drive away from the area with his drugs. The next person to arrive at the house was Walter Grant, who did exactly what Melvin did by entering the house with soft vinyl backpack. A short time later, Grant left the house and left the area in his Lincoln. By this time, other surveillance officers and the supervisor took up positions near the house. Walter Grant drove his car a safe distance away. When in vicinity of a Bronx highway, his vehicle was stopped by the officers. The black bag contained 4.5 kilos of heroin, and Grant was placed under the arrest. At the same time, back at the house, others showed up at the house, leaving with bags and arrested carrying heroin. A search warrant was executed for the house, and other persons were arrested, as well as significant amounts. Okay, so this is like I think they're copying a news report. So basically, he was, again, murdered. This is a interesting side note here. If you guys don't know, if you guys watched American Gangster, the movie with Denzel Washington, right? Melvin Earl Combs was an associate of notorious New York City drug lord Frank Lucas, right? Based on a true story, right? About Frank Lucas. So supposedly he was one of his limo drivers or his driver. That's his association, only supposedly, with Frank Lucas. But as you guys heard, he was dealing too. He was helping move, stuff. So Combs at age 33 was fatally gunned down in 1972 after a failed drug deal due to being mistaken for police informant. Was he mistaken or was he really snitching? Both Frank Lucas and rival Nicky Barnes were close to Combs. Combs is survived by his wife, former model and teacher Janice, and their two children, hip-hop mogul, entrepreneur Sean Diddy Combs and Keisha Combs, all right? Again, just a little background. Here's a picture with him and Puff. So I don't know if this is, it kind of looks weird. To me, it looks like they added Puff Daddy there. I don't know if he did that when he was young or if this is actual, like if he actually took a picture with him next to him. But this is another picture circulates the internet. All right. All right. And that's him right there again. And the same picture. All right. So he was born in Baltimore. So, I know P. Diddy was born in New York, but most of his family coming from Maryland. A lot of them are from there, and then some of them came out of South Carolina before Maryland. So we're going to take a look at that again. He was born in 38 in April 15, passed away January 26, 72 in the Bronx. Okay, 1940 census. Melvin is 2 years old, and here he is with his dad Isaac, and living with the Davis. John H. Davis is a relative. We're gonna see who that is. So he was living with a relative there, which happens to be his grandfather. So he's the grandson of John H. Davis, and he was living there with his dad. 1950 census. Now he's living with Virginia Nash, and that's her nephew. All right. Marriage license to Janet or Janice. They put Janet as Janice Smalls, Bronx, 1963. Graveyard site, as you guys can see. Melvin Earl Combs, his full name. And he was a veteran. He was in the Marines and the Air Force. He was in the Marines for 7 months. He was in the Air Force for about 4 years, according to Henry Gates. We're gonna see that later. Okay, so he did do some service, and then after that is where he got involved with his criminal life. So he was a veteran. Okay, and here's some newspaper reports, most likely of his death and all that. Just wanted to see that. So his parents is Isaac Combs Jr. and Helen Davis. We're gonna go up to his parents. Okay. So again, we're doing a paternal side real quick. This is his so this would be his grandparents, P. Diddy's grandparents. On his dad's side, Isaac Combs Jr., coming out of Baltimore, Maryland, born January 1919, and he ended up in Brooklyn, passed away in 86. 1920 census, he's not even one yet, and here he is living with Isaac and Daisy Curtis. And just in case you guys think, I'm just reading things, it's literally here. So Isaac's son, as you guys can see, he's 11 months here. He's not even one yet, living under his dad and his mom, Isaac Sr. You guys can see. All right. His dad is also in the military. Okay. And a lot of his people on this side were, so you can see a World War II draft for his dad. Complexion, light brown. Isaac Combs, next of kin is dad. So again, being born in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. And his wife, Puff Daddy's grandma, Helen A. Davis, coming out of Baltimore as well, Maryland, born 1920 in January, passed away in 1949. and she's in the 1920 census again, 1940 as well. She's 19 here, and she's the one living with her dad, and you can see Melvin here and Isaac as well. So the whole family there living with their grandfather John Henry Davis. Okay, many family members as well. You know, other trees kind of help out a little bit with some of the records, as you guys can see. The Gallard family related to him. Screen family related to him. Combs is another family right there. Combs, more Combs, the Berg family. So all these people confirm the ancestors, right? So when I have so many families like this, you know, and I go into their profiles and I see records, I'm like, okay, I know we're going up the right line. We also got it on here on celebrity, which confirmed that as well. All right, Helen Davis, daughter of John Henry and Mammy Mason. Okay. So her parents, again, John Henry Davis and Mammy Mason. But before we continue on her line, we're going to go up again the Combs side. We're just going to finish that. So again, Isaac Combs Jr., his grandfather, Isaac Combs Sr., his great-grandfather, and Daisy Curtis, his great-grandmother on his maternal side. Some of the siblings here, I like to close these so it gets very cluttered. Okay, so Isaac Combs from St. Mary, Maryland. Okay, here he is in 1880, 8 years old, living with his parents, Alex and Mary Combs. Home in 1880, Chaptico. That's what they call Costa Ricans, Tico. If you guys didn't know that, Ticos. St. Mary's, Maryland, so-called black. So his parents, same from Maryland, as you guys can see here. 1900, 20 years later, because supposedly they lost all the 1890 census, right? They supposedly burned them all, supposedly. Here's Isaac and Maria and all the kids living there still in Maryland. Again, Army, still in the Army, which a lot of his ancestors were in the military. And World War I for his dad, great-grandfather. Okay, that's the draft. So I can't look at the chat too much while I'm reading because I can't multitask like that. I only got 2 eyes, So, hey, moderators, anybody come in, just take care of them. Anybody negative or starting trouble or distracting, But I hope you guys just enjoy it. You can talk amongst yourselves. Just keep it respectful, and try to stay on topic. Try to stay on topic. Okay. So that's again his great-grandfather Isaac Combs. We're gonna move up to his dad, Mary Combs. I'm sorry, Alexander Combs, also born in Maryland. And that's as far as we get on the Combs side. When I hit search, I get a couple things, but it's a lot of Alex's. Let me see what I got last time. Okay. So yeah, I got some people in Kentucky, Mary Combs. I don't think that's them. And I got Virginia, Mary Bridgman. That's not them. This guy in North Carolina, white. So that's what I'm saying. Here's Colored Troops. That might be him. This might be him. St. Mary, Maryland, the same place. So I would assume that's him. I didn't see that earlier, so I can add that. If you want to add a source, like you saw what I did, I went from his profile and I hit search, and all these search options came out. I'm gonna pick that. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. And it's gonna tell me you want to save it to Alex. I'm gonna hit yes. Okay. Save. Wow. Wow. That's how we do it. And that's how we do it. So check this out. I found an Alexander Combs and a Confederate soldier. So, I know a lot of they try to say the colored troops are Union, but I found a lot of these so-called colored troops, when they explaining it, they say these are Union, but then when they show the slips don't say Confederate Union. So you got to believe them. But here's again, Confederate Alexander Combs. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to find another one, another ancestor. But yeah, he can be Union too. we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And what we got for him in 1880, and I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah, again, he's living with his wife. We don't know her maiden name, but we do know that he was living with his mom, as you guys can see here, who was supposedly 90, Lettice Combs. All right, so that's kind of as far as we got on the Combs side. When we get to Lettice Combs, I did find a grave site for her, so I know she's a real person. There's even the Alex is listed here as the son. St. Mary's County, same place. So I'm like, yep. But we don't have a dad. I kind of hit a dead end here on the Combs side. Real quick, Combs. This is just for fun. I'm not saying that they're actually Anglo-Saxon or English, but Combs, right? Anglo-Saxon culture, Saxon, sons of Isaac. And then you see the red lion. Interesting, right? Again, no matter who he is today, that doesn't mean all his ancestors were like that, or maybe they were. I don't know. But I just want to show you what Combs is saying. They're saying England, right? Ancient roots of the Combs family name are the Anglo-Saxon culture, right? And then it says, look at this. Look at this one. This is pretty cool. So Combs settlers in the United States, 17th century. Look, John Combs landed in Maryland. Mary Combs landed in Maryland. George Combs, Charleston, Maryland, Maryland. Look, see? So maybe one of these is the ancestor. Then you even got an Alexander Combs, same name, who arrived in New York, 1796. Of course, this website is not going to list all the Combs that got here, but these are some of the more historical people they try to put in these websites, right? But look, it's kind of matching these people arriving in Maryland from England, all right? These are the different variations, okay? We're not there yet. So that's how far we got on the Combs side. We're in about 1845 Maryland. Again, this is the wall we kind of hit always. Around 1830s, 1840s. We have gotten lucky many times, of course. A lot of families can get past this, and it gets pretty historic. But I hope you saw on this side, no slaves, right? On the Combs side, no slaves, right? No slaves? Yeah, I didn't find no records, none. It's conjecture to say anything. Even his mom, I didn't find anything. Oh, they got 3 more hands. Let's see what they're giving us. So look, this wasn't here earlier. So let's add this. At 1870 census, right? Race, so all black. And 70. Okay, so still a little older here. Birthplace Maryland. So that's most likely her. We're gonna add it and we're gonna save it. So they're saying about 1800, 10 years from what the other census is saying. So a lot of the census, of course, the census takers, they did a bad job a lot of the times. They kept putting different ages for people or spelling names wrong and all that. When you know the person filled it out, they'll have a circle with an X inside of it next to their name. That's when you know the actual person gave the info. Other than that, the person didn't give the info, you know. Okay, so here's again the 1880 census we already saw with her living with Alex and his wife Mary. I'm gonna add that to her as well. Okay, add it to the son, make sure, save. And some other families here. So they're saying she was born in St. Mary's, Maryland. We didn't have that. This family, right? James A. Clark is saying that. All right. Does he have a source for that? Let's see. It really doesn't. So we're gonna go with it though, right? He might know more. Might have a family Bible or something. So for the husband, look what they put, just Combs, born in Maryland. So I'm not gonna add that because that might block actual good hints if you put Combs without a full name. All right. So let's see. This is siblings of Alexander, Lloyd, Joseph. There goes Alex. All right. Thanks. We're live. We're live. We're doing this live, some of these things live. So I'm glad you guys are able to see this. All right. I try to do most of it before going live because this is very time consuming, guys. So as you guys can see, you got to go through all the hints. very tedious work, and you got to get very specific and detailed. The more specific and detailed you get, the better hints you're going to pull out. And you see more families are starting to come up. So we saw her, these trees already had come up before. So they all got the same thing. You see how they all just copying each other, right? They just, nobody knows the dad's name. Why? And I bet you find the dad's name is going to open up a whole Pandora's box. Gonna start going, further back. We might find something interesting with the Combs. Now, what I do sometimes is, I do things like this: Combs, family history. This is when I really want to get past those walls, right? Uh, Sorry. And then we're gonna put Maryland. So Combs family history, Maryland. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get a whole website. Look at that, Combs and families of St. Mary, Maryland. I wasn't expecting that. I hadn't done this, right? So this is what I'm saying. Let's see what it's saying. St. Mary's County, Maryland was an original county created in 1637. However, numerous changes took place in its boundaries. Okay, well, let's get to the good part. So it says Philip Combs was the first to appear in St. Mary's record in 1663 when he is hired as an overseer by Thomas Gerard of St. Clemens Manor. Abraham Combs is the second in 1670. All right, so they got some history here. And then we got Enoch, Hebrew, right? Sephardic Jew, probably Combs, the third in 1698. Abraham came from Old Rappahannock County, Virginia, where he was closely associated with the same families as the Archdale Combs, who was probably the grandson of John and Margaret Archdale Combe of London. Enoch probably came from the neighboring county of Lancaster, Virginia, from where Philip came. We still don't know. We still don't know, probably. So they're saying that these Combs might go back actually to Virginia, right? These Combs that we see here. I don't know if this is P. Diddy's family. I'm just showing you what I kind of do. I sometimes go backwards, and then eventually I try to find all these people's descendants, and you never know. You might end up with Alexander and Lettice Combs somewhere, So that will take a lot more time. This ain't my family, so I'm not really, if anybody wants to follow up on that, this is kind of a way I do it sometimes. It says there are also a number of stray Combs in early St. Mary's, including Simon, Christopher, Thomas, and Robert, about whom almost nothing is known. Although it is, of course, quite possible that all are descended from one or more of the above three men, and the key to all their ancestries may lie in 3 London parishes, England parishes to wit, all right? So most likely we're talking about English ancestors when it comes to who brought the Combs name, right? Who brought the Combs name down here? And don't just assume we're talking about pale skin or so-called white people, guys. I know you guys have been following me, a lot of you, for a long time, so you should know already to dodge the hijack, all right? So as you guys can see, you kind of like, if you're a Combs and you're from Maryland, you want to find out, you can reach out to them. Now, if you say you're a so-called black person, they might try to say, well, you might be a descendant of one of our slaves. So you got to be careful. These people try to make everybody into a slave, so-called black, that's so-called black. So, you got to really, don't just believe everything they say, guys. Don't just assume they're telling you the truth, because again, you see, they don't know, as they said here, whom almost nothing is known. So how can you say these aren't black Europeans if you don't know anything about these people? How can you say they're not black Europeans if you don't know anything about these people, right? I'm just trying to help you think a little bit here, right? So what else comes up? Look at that, combsfamily.org, London, England, Combs family history. All right, you guys can see, right? William Combs, 1671, St. Mary's County. Look at that, same place. What is the coincidence, guys? I'm so like, look, when I do this stuff and I see like these coincidences and these how it's matching with, most of the time I keep digging and I end up finding out these are his family. These are the families. They're the same. It goes down. They're in the same county and everything. Okay. Again, so far, free people, no slaves. All right. Now that was just, again, an example. I just wanted to show you guys what I do. Okay. I don't know if they're Huguenots. They're English, so I don't know. So going back down to Alexander, He was married to a Mary A. Combs. We don't have um, we don't have a lot on her, but I want to show you how people be messing up. I want to show you something. First, what do we have for her, right? Again, she was born around 1850 in Maryland. In Maryland, pay attention to that, right? Married to Alex Combs. We don't have her maiden name, right? We got a funeral record here, pretty much saying the same thing. We don't have a maiden name, right? Now, I want to show you guys something. Let me see. Show you guys something. This is very important to pay attention to, because I know a lot of you guys go seek help from a lot of people, and a lot of these people are just making up things, guys. Like, and they adding so many bad stuff. So many bad stuff. So we got Mary Bridgman here, right? Let's see where they getting Bridgman from. I first had Bridgman because I saw that, and then I was like, but where are they getting that from? I go here, I don't see Bridgman. Virginia, select marriages. Then I found this. That's in Virginia. And then I followed up on this, and I did find the correct Alex Combs and Mary. This is a whole different two people. These are two different people. It is not related to, these are so-called white folks. I went into it, guys. Trust me. I had the Bridgman. I looked into the hints. I hit search, and I found these two people. That's not the same Alexander Combs and Mary Combs. So this person has this incorrect, and she just added the Bridgman, hoping for the best. Okay, so I just an example, right? And let me see, what do they have? As you guys can see, it's all the same sources. Nobody really has much more. Nobody really has much more. All right, and this is the guy who owns this tree. Is he related to Puff Daddy? Hey, maybe. This might be one of his distant cousins, all right? Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. This is not the example when it shows something else. Okay, we'll find it though, right? I'm gonna show you how much people, and the person's like, I'm the best genealogist. I've been doing this for years, and I'm gonna show you all the mistakes you made. I'm gonna show you all the mistakes you made. All right, so again, on the Combs side, this is as far as we got to his third great grandma or his second great grandparents, right? Combs. Going back down to Isaac Sr., his great grandfather, his wife Daisy Curtis, right? Born in Maryland as well. Curtis, another name, right? So where's Curtis? Again, we're just doing this for fun. Doesn't mean that all these people are Europeans. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the name, these last names are being carried from these places. And a lot of these people, whether they were so-called white or black Europeans, they mixed in with American Indians. So you are both. You are both. I'm not saying you're not Indian. You are both. But I'm just showing you the history that a lot of people leave out and don't want to mention. That the name Curtis reached English shores for the first time with the ancestors of the Curtis family as they migrated from the Norman conquest. So, right? So it seems that they were Normans. French and Irish, Italian? Huh. Okay. Let's see what it says here. John Curtis arrived in Virginia in 1621 aboard the ship Flying Heart. Thomas Curtin, same. That might be related. William Curtis landed in Boston. So, possibly some of the ancestors, possibly. I have found people's ancestors on this website. I have. Okay. Daisy got two more new hints. So that's not her. You see how Daisy Curtis, this is a Sally Taylor. This has nothing to do with her. So in these things, in this case, guys, you got to hit no. You hit review. I'm not gonna add this, right? Like, this is not her. Who's Sally Taylor? You hit no. We're not talking about Sally Taylor. You gotta hit no to the bad hints. That'll help your algorithms work better to pull up good hints. No. Okay. I knew that's what I said. I didn't have hints. I already had gone through all the hints, right? So Daisy Curtis. Sorry, I just want to show some of the 1900. Daisy Curtis, 16, and daughter of Charles Curtis and Mary Curtis. Okay, so we got her parents. So I'm able to confirm her parents. All right, we're gonna go up to her parents. the Curtises, right? Okay, this is the one I was saying about, and Alsap. Now we read about the Alsap. Oh no, we haven't yet. We haven't yet. But remember the Alsap last name. Now Charles Curtis here has a couple hints that I wasn't too uh confident with, right? I wasn't. I'll show you why. Oh, now they don't want to give me the hint. Yeah, so cemetery, like, okay, so when it comes to death records, a lot of the time, like obituaries, the grave record, or even a death certificate, it's based all on informants. Nobody's really verifying. They ask a family or some informant, and if the informant guesses, and he's like, I think his parents' name were, that's what they put, and if it's wrong, you might go up, you might have the wrong info. I've seen this a lot. All right. So here's a Charles Henry Clay Curtis in Baltimore. They're saying he's born in 64, right? And then they say his father, Charles A.C. Curtis. So I followed this lead. These are white folks. I followed this lead, guys. These are white folks. This is why I didn't add this. Even him, they're calling him white when we know he's so-called black. Even this Charles H. Henry Clay, right? They were making him white even in modern records. So I know they're not just making him white in 1860 or 1850, actually in 1880. Let me just go back to what I got for him again, right? 1880 census. He's 20 years old, so-called black. We're dealing with black folks here, all right? If you go up into Charles H. Curtis and all, those all white folks. Why is this popping up? Because other people, I'm gonna show you, add this stuff wrong. They just add it just to add it. They see a similar name. Oh, Baltimore Curtis. Oh, Charles. That must. You know how many Charles Curtis when you hit search? You know how many pop up? A lot, guys. A whole bunch. A whole bunch. Now, let me see. Is this the lady? Is this the lady I was looking at earlier? Let's see. No. Well, that's one of the ladies we were looking at earlier. But hold up. Remember, she already had one thing there that was added incorrectly. It was a lady. I gotta find that lady. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so look, all these people, they have parents, and this is that same guy I told you. These are white folks. They're adding different people. They're adding different people to this. I'm telling you. Okay. Now she has no record. Look, she has no record stating that his parents are Charles Curtis and Mary Jordan. This is the same one I just showed you, where he's living alone at 20. And you go into the census, you see that he is living alone. 1900, 20 years later, he's living with his wife, Mary. And here's Daisy. Okay. And then you got a bunch of other families here. All right. Let me see if this is the lady. I don't think this is her. No, that's not the lady. Wait till we find the lady. I'm going to show you how much people be scamming people. I'm going to show you guys. Okay. And then we got, let me see, this family. Crystal Gaskins, is this her? Nope, that's not her. But you see, these people are just copying everybody else. And that's what happens a lot of the time. People doing genealogy, they just add whatever ancestry throws at them. Charles A. Kurt, and then they try to make people into slaves too. Oh, that must be his white slave owner. That's not his dad. That's the guy who gave him the last name. No, that's fairy tales, guys. Okay, so Mary Alsop. Can I have one more? 1 second. Crystal. I got her. Okay. We're gonna go into his wife's side, Mary Alsop, right? I do have a 1880 census with her, where she's 18, right? And she's the daughter of Robert Alsop and Georgiana. It's Georgiana. They've spelled it wrong here. It's Georgiana. Again, Robert's from Maryland. His mom's from Maryland. We're still in Maryland. All right. Alsop. Very important. Remember that. We're going to hear a story about Robert Alsop from Henry Gates. And he was telling P. Diddy, right? We're going to get that clip. So stay tuned to the end, guys. 1870. She's 6 years old again with Robert and Georgiana. So-called black. All right. So-called black. Again, that's all I got. So she was 1860. She wasn't born yet. I ain't seeing no slave records yet. Let me go to her parents. Real quick, we just go to Alsop. Again, we're just doing this just so you guys can see. Let's see if it comes up. So Alsop, it says, of the Anglo-Saxon names to come from Britain, Alsop is one of the most ancient. Key word. When I see ancient, I'm like, oh yeah. Most likely talking about melanated folks too. Don't think all white folks, right? Remember what Saxon means? Saxon means sons of Isaac. The names that result of the original family had lived in Alsop le Dale, a châtellery in the parish of Ashbourne in the county of Derbyshire. All right. So that's what they're saying is the history. That's what they're saying. And well, they only got people settling from the 20th century, 1900. So of course, we already know they go further back, right? Because we got Mary's parents, Robert, born in 1835, Maryland. And you're going to see Henry Gates confirms that he was born a free man. And his parents were free people of color. The Alsops on his family were free people of color during slavery times. Okay? You don't believe me? 1860. Slavery's supposed to be going on, right? So-called black, right? So here he is with his parents. Thomas is right here. Actually, his mom, that's his brother. His mom, Nancy, we're going to see. Let's go into the census. How do you know he's free, Kurimeo? How do you know? Free inhabitants. So because when Henry Gates does these episodes, he'd be like, look, he makes them read it. What does it say there? It says free inhabitants, Mr. Gates. Yes, your people were free people of color. Now, we don't know why they were free, but many slaves were being freed. And he starts adding his conjecture and bull, right? He starts making up a history and conjecturing like a mofo. Yeah. Let me show you the 1850 census. Could he be free in 1850? 12 years old, Robert, and they put Alsop. This is him, and this is the same census that Henry Gates shows P. Diddy. I had all this before I even saw that episode. I did this on my own. I do this, guys. This is what I do, and I verify. I take my time. This took me 4 days. I was working on it, and that's why I didn't do videos for like 2 days. I was kind of working on this. Yesterday, I dropped the video, in between as I was working with this. So again, going into the 1850 census. Again, free inhabitants, right? Free inhabitants. Free inhabitants. Where they at? Right here. Thomas Alsop, Nancy, there goes his mom, there goes Robert. And he's like, what does it say there? He made P. Diddy read this. Robert, he's 12, male, free inhabitants. He's like, yes, your ancestors were free people of color. He said, that's very rare. That's very rare. Stop lying, Henry Gates. Stop lying. He says, I would lie to you to make you laugh, but I'm telling you the truth. Oh, man. Yeah, it's funny how his last name is Gates, and he's a gatekeeper. What a coincidence. So here's Robert with his wife in 1870. Here you go again, right? Going up to his parents, Thomas Alsop and Nancy Alsop, born around 1811. Free people of color in Maryland. And Maryland's supposed to be, what did it say? What did it say here? It's supposed to be what? 90% of blacks were enslaved. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. So far, we haven't seen nothing on P. Diddy's side saying anything about a slave, right? We'll get to the Colliers. All right, where were we? Okay. So we got two hints here. Did I run into the Thomas? I think I did. I don't know if I did, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, I did his whole tree extensively, guys. So if if you don't see any of his people that you're saying are supposed to be his people, then I don't know where you got that info from. All right. So 1850 is the same census. We're gonna add it to him. So-called black, 1850, free inhabitants in Baltimore, Maryland, free inhabitants. That's funny because I just realized Javante Davis. He's a Davis. He might be related to Diddy. He is from Baltimore, right? Hmm. Oh. And some other families here. Okay, so this just came up. I didn't have this earlier. This person, Mandawa. Let's see what Mandawa is. Let's see if we got a picture. Okay, he's saying, I don't know where you. Oh, I know this picture. Oh, Beyonce. Check it out. I knew I recognized that picture. We have Beyonce's family tree, guys. Check out that episode. So Mandawa is saying that Hosea, Hebrew name, Hosea, that's his dad, supposedly, right? Where did he get that from? Where did he get that from? Because the 1850 census doesn't have that. That's all he has here. And then he has other families here. Let's see if the other families told him that. Okay, so he got it from Kim. Let's see where Kim got that from. Same thing. Kim has the 1850 census. That doesn't say the parents. She's got another family here. Let's see where she got it from. Okay, no parents here on this family. And then Samuel Alsop. All right, he has the last name. Let's see these two people where they got it from. I just want you to see, guys. I don't just add things if I'm not sure. Now, you guys see? No sources. No sources. And who is it again? We got Samuel Alsop. Look at that. So-called white man. Hey, he might be related to Diddy. He might know something, or he might just be adding white folks here. He has no source. I can't trust that. I can't trust that. So again, I can't add stuff like this. So all those people got it from him probably. All right. This person has it too. Dream big. Let's see if he has a real source. And he has no sources. So you guys see that? I hope you guys are paying attention. None of these people had a real source for that. Do they have a family Bible? Do they know something orally? Maybe, but that would be me conjecturing and guessing. You know, that's why I don't know how people do people's genealogy without the actual person there in front of them to ask them questions. Hey, you ever heard of Thomas? You guys have a family Bible? Is there any rumors of a Hosea Alsop? You know, and that's how you try to dig a little bit. But as you guys see, no sources for that parent. No sources from any of these family trees. This is where they all getting it from too. All right. I hope you guys saw that. Hey, Mandawa, man, you gotta have sources, man. Or do you know? Or is it something you know? Because you didn't have no source. So I'm not adding that, guys. I'm not gonna add that because I might lead you up the whole wrong tree, and those might be, you know, some other people that they're trying to make you into slaves too, you know. So be careful. Be very careful when you're doing this. Don't just add the first thing you see, guys. So again, I'm gonna leave it there, but I can't trust that. So here's the 1850 census. Again, it's popping up. I don't know why it's popping up still. I thought I added it. Yep, save to tree. Now, also, we're not gonna say people stealing names because we don't know that. That might be relatives. This is what I want you guys to really, please, like, let's not guess. Let's not always assume that something wrong is going on. Like, okay, like they might be related. These white folks might be related to Diddy, guys. So I'm not gonna say just because I see a white folks that this not family. Let's not be like that. Please, let's not be like that. But I'm not adding it because they got no sources. That's why I'm not adding. Not because it's a white man. It's because they don't have sources. Okay. For Nancy, we don't have the maiden name, but we have her being born in 1818 in Maryland. And then, I mean, we got the same sources here. The 1860 we saw earlier, and we got Robert right here. See, Georgina. Okay. All right, Nasir. So, surprise, I'm doing Malcolm X's genealogy. I've been working on that, and it's a very difficult tree. So I've been waiting to see if I can get more because some of his family go into the islands. All right, and that person in the islands is supposed to be a so-called white man. I'm gonna show you the story, but is he? But he was coming from Scotland or England, literally, like very like in the 1800s. So, and this is known. All right. Yeah, a lot. Well, we get to that. Don't worry. We get to Malcolm X episode. All right. And so Nancy. So we got the Combs family. So same thing. As you guys can see, no parents. So we're kind of stuck there in the threshold of 1700. Yeah, I know his mom's side. You know, we'll get to that episode, Nasir. We'll get to that episode. And you know what I'm talking about then, about the so-called immigrant from Scotland and England who's literally her dad or her grandfather, like literally very close. So I'm talking about Malcolm X. Literally his grandfather or great grandfather is from England or Scotland. Literally. Literally. Not Africa. Literally. Okay. So when it came to Georgina, his wife, born in 1844, Alsap, and this is taking me a little longer than I wanted to, but I'm trying to do this thoroughly so guys, you can cover everything, can help people out. 1870, Georgina is right here. You guys can see 27. 1880, 10 years later, about 36, 37, listed as mulatto. Okay. And then, where did I get the Jones from? I think I got the Jones. Did I get the Jones from somebody? Let me see. Okay, yeah, it got pulled in from the other families. You see, all the other families got Jones. Is that correct? I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't verify this part. So let's see. They're saying her mom is Juliana Jones. And yeah, they don't, it's gonna be the same thing, guys. It's gonna go. So here's this record I didn't have. So widow of Robert Alsop, so that matches. That's good. But there's no thing here with parents. Let me see. She got it from probably other family members, as we saw just now. Okay, so all these people got Julia. So she didn't have a source for Julia. Dream big. Let's see if he has a source for Julia. Okay, 1850. I don't have that. Let's see what it's saying here. Okay, there we go. Now this is a good source. Georgina Jones. So I'm able to verify the Jones if this is her, because this is her at 9. So this could be a whole other Georgina, but we're gonna go with it because I think this is more correct. All right, she's 9 years old, and I just want to show you again. What does it say in the top? What does it say in the top? 1850, free inhabitants, not slaves, free inhabitants. Hey, hey, guess what, Mr. Henry Gates? You left this out of that episode. You only showed one. Okay. Oh, we all from Africa, slaves. Oh, why are you making yourself a slave? That's not all your history. That's not even a lot of people's history. And slave is that history is mistold. When it comes to the indentured servitude and who was really being enslaved. We're talking about American Indians, Black Europeans, all these people were getting enslaved. All these people were melanated too. So they got grouped together, they got grouped as Negroes, Black, but that doesn't mean they came from Africa. Either way, so far, nothing, right? I'm even showing you an 1850 census of Georgina Jones as a free inhabitant, right? Let me see if we can find her. Hold on, let me go back. I can open it again. Okay, down here. So Georgina Jones, 9. We got the head of the household is Rebecca Dixon. And then we got a Julia Jones, who everybody's saying is her mom. Now, this person is 26, right? So let's see something. So 26 minus 9, you guys already know. That's going to be 17. So yeah, she could be the mom. She could be the mom, or she could be her sister. But hey, everybody's saying Juliana Jones is the mom for some reason. But again, all these so-called black folks, free inhabitants, All right, let's see. Hold up, guys. Okay, look at all these so-called black. Look, and Henry Gates says 90% of the people were enslaved in Maryland. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna add that to Georgina's account. So I'm gonna save it. If you find a record, you want to add it to your person, go to the record, you go to save to someone in your tree, and then you find your Anna Jones, that one, attach, and there you go. You're able to attach this. So it kind of matches the age, state, Maryland, Baltimore. I feel kind of good with this source. All right, so I'm gonna add it. Again, free inhabitants. So again, we got the Jones. We got a Jones. I know a lot of you are Jones. Okay, Welsh and Irish. While the ancestors of the bearers of Jones came from ancient, again, Welsh Celtic. You guys got to watch my videos on all these people, right? The name itself has its roots in Christianity. That's the hijack. The surname comes from the person named John, which is derived from the Latin Johannes, meaning Yahweh is gracious. Johannes, Yahweh. Oh, Hawa is gracious. Hawa. So some of them arrived in Virginia in the 1600s. You see that? A lot in Virginia, the Jones. Some in Boston in the 1700s, South Carolina, and so on. Okay. Oh, look, 1860. This came out. Look, this hint just came up because I added the 1850. Now we got an actual. Now I'm really way more sure. See, those other people didn't have sources. They were just adding what other people are adding. You know, I don't like doing that. Right? But this one is telling us that there is a Georgina Jones in Maryland, Baltimore, who has a mother named Julia, which we kind of already had established. Now we got a dad, Joshua Jones. Look at that. Again, 1860, right? Remember, slavery's supposed to be going on. Black, mulatto, black, mulatto, black, mulatto. All these people who are melanated, so-called black folks, free inhabitants. Hey, Henry Gates, why you leave all these people out? Look at all the people he left out. I'm gonna show you guys. He's only gonna mention one person when he interviewed Diddy and told him. So again, this is a good source, and I'm feeling more and more confident that we got the right people. All right. We're gonna add the parents, Joshua, again, Hebrew name, Joshua. All right. And Sarah, we got a sibling now. And we add Julia. They were swapping moms. What do you mean by that? Yeah. Yes, exactly. Hey, La IAOU and MU. Yeah, like, do you guys see, like, his people were free people of color, like, I'm telling you, a lot of people from, and I don't take this all, it's just from me doing genealogy. I've noticed a lot of the black folks from Maryland, DC, a lot of them going back to black Europeans. That doesn't mean they didn't mix with Indians, but they have a lot of European. It's funny how a lot of the abos that like to point out point finger and judge people and call people Mongols and all this stuff and don't even got their genealogy done. They're from these states too. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, let's add Julia. So I was able to verify that. You guys saw? I was able to verify that. We got two sources. Again, I don't just add stuff if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't got no source, especially if it's not my family, right? And a lot of people just end up doing that all the time and they just adding stuff, they just adding wrong stuff. Okay. All right, guys. Now let's see if we got some hints for Joshua and Jones. Well, we got nothing for Joshua yet. Julia. Let's see what we got for Julia. Now we got an 1880 census for Julia. Okay. And she's might be living with one of her sons. Or she's the head of household, actually. They're living with her. So yeah, confirmed, so-called black. Now she's living in Mount Vernon, Somerset. Let's add that because we don't have an 1880 census. Now we got a couple more siblings as well. And that's how we build the tree. Who says apples? If you don't know, if you haven't been in this community for like the last 7 years, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And if you don't watch these people, don't worry about it. All right? But most people know what I'm talking about. They call themselves that. They say I'm an aboriginal. I'm not saying anything they don't call themselves. Okay? Now look at this. So-called white. Who is this? Who's Elizabeth? Who is Elizabeth? Let's see this. We're dealing with Julia, not an Elizabeth. Hold on. I could have sworn we had Jones down here too. Let me see. Hold on. So how do I know this is wrong? And they're listing these people so-called white because we already have, let me show, we already have an 1850 census. You can't have two of the same year. You can't be living in two different places. Oh, actually, we don't. We have the 1860 for Julia. I could have sworn we had the 1850. It must be under genius. Dude, I see so many sources. I forget who's who. I forget what do we look at. Hold on. Okay, yeah, 1850. This is what I'm saying. And here's Julia. Right here. So that other 1850, I should add this to Julia. So look, let me show you how to do that. You record, and you go to Julia, and then you say, see, so-called black. That's why I tell you guys to be careful. People have the same names. Matt Hammer, what are you talking about, man? If you come in here to like start any conflict or controversy or just get all personal with one of your, if you're a fanboy of somebody, you'll get kicked out real quick, man. What I speak is all recorded in the last 7 years in their own channels. You want to talk about hate? You just Google my name on YouTube and you see how many hate videos of me comes up. So let's not do that. Let's not play no victim cards. No, I'm not talking, man. Don't worry about who I'm talking about, man. Why do you want to know? Why do you want to know so bad? You just want to create controversy, man. Don't worry about it, man. I said, if you don't know the people, if you don't worry about it. You should know. If you knew the people, you would know. I didn't know Dan called himself an abo. I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever heard him say he's an abo. Oh, look, because I'm scared. There you go. Thanks for showing your true self. No, don't just delete him. Hide him. Oh, yeah, thank you. Hide him, yeah. That's probably Dane right there. Or somebody associated to the abos. Yeah, we know who you're talking about. Again, I didn't say nothing about Dane, you said that, all right? And again, I never heard him say he's an abo. So obviously I wasn't talking about him specifically. See how you got kicked out, man? You couldn't hold your tongue, right? Little troll, little childish troll, hurt little troll. Don't create no more accounts and come back over here. And thanks for subscribing for 5 minutes just so you can leave a chat. What a loser. What a loser, man. He says I'm scared. Scared of what? Scared of what, man? What are you talking about, man? Fanboys. That's a fanboy, probably. That's what I'm saying, you know. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only why you. First of all, I didn't even say his. You brought him up, and then you started talking crap, right? So that's why I called you a fanboy. Relax. Wasn't talking about him, fanboy. I didn't say no names, fanboy. All right. So look how far we got under Jones. Joshua Jones from Maryland, 1830. We kind of stuck there. Hopefully, with as days go by, because I just started doing this street recently, more hints will pop up. Okay, more hints will pop up. Here we go, Georgina. So going back down, that was the Alsep line. We're gonna close that, close the Curtis line, right? And we got the Combs side, so we're good on this side. We're gonna close Isaac Combs. We're gonna go up Helen Davis. Again, her parents, and this is the images, right? Her parents, John Henry Davis and Mammy Mason. John Henry Davis. Yeah, I don't know how many records you're gonna find on the library, but I mean, if you haven't done this text, if you haven't worked on your genealogy like this is one of the best ways. Here and FamilySearch.org, use both of them. You'll get different hints on both of them. Use both of them. Family Search is free. This one you got to pay, but this is the more user-friendly one and where you're going to find more relatives and more hints, user-friendly. So use both of them. And then when you get stuck on a specific line, then I would suggest do boots on the ground once you got the leads. Once you got the leads. Okay. So in 1900, Johnny Davis is 15, the son of Charles Davis and Sarah Davis. Okay, we got the parents and the siblings here. Also, again, in Maryland. We all in Maryland. Just chilling in Maryland, right? Here we got John Davis' marriage to Mary Mason. That's her maiden name, right? This one, they spelled her name wrong and everything in the newspaper article. He was in World War I. Look at that. So-called black. Baltimore, John Henry Davis. And it seems he was in World War II. Sometimes that happens. They were in both wars. Both wars at an older age. Did his service. So I found out that his wife's name was Creek. Where did I find that out? I know I had something. I know I had. Oh, okay. We're not. That's his parents. Sorry. Let's go to the parents. So we know his wife is Mason, Mammy Mason. Let me go to his parents, who were Charles and Sarah. And that's okay. I do have Perry and Priscilla. Okay. So Charles Davis from Maryland, 1851. Passed away about 1942. Okay. Yeah, text. I didn't know that about. Well, I probably heard it, but never put. I never thought of anything about it. I didn't know P. Diddy sang that in one of his songs, his lyrics. Here we have Charles Davis, and I found this one because I know some people had the names, but they didn't have sources, and I was able to find the source. He's listed as mulatto, right? But not only him, his parents are listed as mulatto as well. Everybody's mulatto here, you see? M, Dero, for color, right? He's a driver. Look at that. Just like Puff Daddy's was a driver for Frank Lucas. They put his mom as a servant. They had to put sign. He's literally the housewife, you know. And here's Charles, the son, and the siblings and the parents, right? So you guys can see. And again, and again, and again, 1860, free inhabitants, free inhabitants, free inhabitants. How many have we seen already, guys? How many slaves have we seen? All right. And Henry Gates left all this out of that episode. He said, you only have one ancestor that was free. You only have one. You only have one. You see, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You got to dodge the hijack when these people, man. They be lying so much. Man, you be lying, boy. Boy, you be lying. Man, Henry. Come on, Gates, gatekeeper. Gates, gatekeeper. Come on, man. Stop lying. So here, this is where I got the Jane Creek. As you see, a marriage record. Charles Davis married to Jane Creek. That's where I got her maiden name, his wife's. And I got his parents. You guys saw the record. All right, we good, right? We good? We're gonna go up to the Perry Davis. So again, more Davises in Maryland. Hey, I wonder if Javante again is related to him. Might be. Might be. I don't think Javante watches me, but hey, he might be related to me. So here's the census that we found this in. All right. And unfortunately, that's all we got. We got, what did I find? I think I found something interesting here. That's why I kept it. There's a Perry Davis who had a painkiller. He had invented a painkiller. Was he a shaman? Or he had Indian roots? You know, a lot of times it is. A lot of times that's the case. But a lot of times it's not the case too. So, but I added it because I found this and I thought it was interesting. I don't know if that's him. It's in North Carolina and we're talking about Maryland. So I don't think it's him, but I added it in case. I just thought it was really interesting. Now I'm gonna hit search for Perry Davis real quick. Just to, I think I already did this. Yeah, I think I did. So I saw this, Perry Davis, federal. I think that's him right there. And then there's some other Perry Davises here, marriage record. That might be the same one. But look at this one. This is in North Carolina, and he's married to a Gladys Durham. So that might be the Perry Davis that's doing the healing stuff in North Carolina. You see, he's married to a different lady, Gladys Durham, in North Carolina. So it would be conjecture for me to say that's the same Perry. A lot of people do that. Oh, I found them, and the boom, just because they found, you know, something similar, right? But you see, so there's one in North Carolina and there's one in Maryland. And some of these Maryland ones are probably him. We got address, their indexes. Okay, but no parents. That's what I was looking for. This guy supposedly was born in Captain Perry Davis in Virginia. So that's a whole different person. All right, I'm not gonna add that. Going back. Yeah, you gotta always double check and you always got new hints and stuff and make sure you start from scratch again, start from the beginning and go up the records and make sure you didn't add just anything. And sometimes when you do that, you end up fixing stuff and you end up getting new good hints and you end up finding real records. So, you know, hey, genealogy is ongoing, guys. It's never ends, you know, really. Like it never really ends. There's a lot of lines you gotta work on. And we got Priscilla Davis. And again, Davis, right? We haven't done this. I think it has something to do with son of David, right? I think it means son like son of, oh, yep. So look at all these countries, right? Even even the Chazars carry that name, right? Took on the name. Welsh, Irish, and French. The Welsh Davis surname is patronymic, meaning son of David. Son of David, ultimately derived from the Hebrew name David, meaning beloved. That's a deep one right there. That's a deep one right there, right? Davis, John Davis, an English navigator who discovered the Falkland Islands, what is now known as the Davis Strait. Deep one. Okay, go back. All right, we go back down. We got the Davis and Sarah Jane Creek. I didn't find anything else on her. I did check the Creek just to see, because a lot of people probably, oh, that's an Indian right there automatically. Maybe, but also I know that the Creek also was being used in England. So we can't just conjecture and just, but something to look into individually and investigate for yourself. But according to what they're saying here, they did use the Creek last name in England. Says the Anglo-Saxon name Creek comes from when the family resided in the parish of Creek in the diocese of the Peterborough. This place name is derived from the Old English word cricket, which means a creek. Creek Indians, huh? Creek, creek, creek. So something to look into. There's a Richard Creek who landed in Virginia in 1701, and some other ones in Pennsylvania. Possible ancestors. Okay. So we're gonna close this line again. And we go up to Mammy Mason, Mammy E. Mason. I got here. She's 2 years old, living under. This one was kind of weird because let me see if your record. She's 2 years old, and let me see. There's a head of household, right? Elizabeth Gill, and then there's Georgie Mason, who says daughter, and then it says daughter. Instead of saying, if this was the grandma, it would say granddaughter, right? It's saying literally that Mammy is the daughter of the head of household. So this was, I got a little confused here. Elizabeth Grill. Sometimes, again, these censuses are not done correctly, and when they're interpreting them digitally, they're not interpreting them correctly. They're kind of guessing. But I just want you guys to see all the stuff you kind of run into. All right. So possible mom for her, Elizabeth Gill, but we had Harriet Mason. Where did I get Harriet? Let me show you. So this was this was 1900. 10 years later, this might not even be her, but it seems to be her. Baltimore, Soko Black. It might be a whole other Mammy Mason. I don't see no William Mason or Harriet parents there, right? I don't see that. But in 1910, we got Mammy Mason, 12 years old, and she is living under William Mason and Harriet Mason, and she's listed as the daughter. So I kind of went with that also because, well, let me see, 1920. Okay, she's already married. The other families had Harriet. Most everybody else had William and Harriet Mason. You guys see? So that's kind of why I left it. Is this correct? Hey, if it's not correct, then all these families who are related, who's supposed to be descendants, got it all wrong too. Right? But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Right? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So Mary Mason, that's her marriage. So that's where we got her parents from. Okay. And let me just see something. I want to look for that lady that was advertising herself to be an expert genealogist, and she has so many things wrong, guys. She has so many things wrong. Let me see if this is her. Actually, I just want to show what she says. That's not her. Nope, same person, sorry. Kim, I know we got that name already. Natasha's not her. I think this is her. Nope. Well, she got lucky. I can't find her. She's lucky I didn't blow her spot. Oh, the family finder. Maybe this is her. No, that's not her. Because there's an image of her and there's a whole bio talking about, I'm an expert. I've been doing this for years. Blah, 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 blah. And then I went to her where she got her people and all the sources. She had white folks. She had different moms and parents. I'm like, what the? All right. Well, hopefully we run into her. Okay, so you guys see where I got the 1910 census lists her as the parents. She might have been living with somebody else and a grandma or something when she was 2, So regarding the Masons, right? William. Now, if you Google Mason family history, Maryland, you're gonna get a lot of Masons, and they're gonna try to make a lot of these people into slaves. But they're gonna say that they work with the Jesuits and that they help build Catholic or Christian communities. That's what I did when I started searching. I did, Mason family history. Let me see if it comes up. The Mason webpage is what I'm saying. Research into the Mason family was initiated by Board of Regents of Gunston Hall. The project was conceived by Pamela Copeland as means of locating documents and artifacts connected with George Mason. But that's what they're saying. They're trying to link everybody to this guy right here, who was born in 1725. He was the first son and fourth generation Virginian. And then these are the kids. So I wasn't able to like link it to them. But it seems they had something to do with the Jesuits. You know, you can go into yourself. I'm not making this up. Let me see this one. Just trying to remember. It's hard remembering everything I researched when I was doing this. It's kind of the same info. They have the same info on the two websites. So look, this is what I was saying. Family connections to the slave trade. Enslaved children of George Mason. So if they're his children, that means he's the dad, right? If they're his children, he's the dad, right? Remember what we found out? A lot of the times, yes, some of the times they did have relations with their indentured servant or wife, and then everybody's listed. Remember, they take the status of the mom. So a lot of the times people do live with their own children and they're listed as slaves, but that doesn't mean they were treating them like Junta Quinte and that they weren't family. They were family. So it says, look, Thomas Mason, the youngest brother of George Mason IV, was a slave dealer, although it is not known whether George Mason bought people from his sibling. See, they don't know. They're telling you right now. Anything they make it up, guys. Look what it says. Thompson paid for notices in Annapolis paper, Maryland Gazette, which promoted his importation of people kidnapped and shipped from Africa. All right, go ahead and prove that. But they're also saying enslaved children of George Mason. These are his kids. All right. Now, are these related to the same people that we're dealing with? Maybe, maybe not. I'm just saying that's what came up when I searched for Mason family history, Maryland. And again, they try to make George into a so-called white man. So a lot of conjecture that you have to do if you want to link that up to him. And I haven't, I got stuck with William. Maybe these people were indentured servants. Okay. Well, he's a big name of a big university out here. Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard that before. Oh, anyway, sorry. I got Wallace and Mary from somewhere. I just want to go back to it. All right. Again, we're doing this live. I could have pre-recorded this and, could have been done by now. But we're doing it live. So William Mason here, look at that. So-called black, born about 1872, the son of Wallace Mason and Mary Mason. So that's where I got his parents. Okay. You guys saw that, right? So how does Wallace Mason link up to that George Mason from the 1700s? I can't prove that. But I do know he was a veteran. Look at that, veteran. Most likely in the Civil War, right? He was a cook. Look at that. Maybe he was a cook in the Civil War or in some army or something. Okay. Morning Star Tabernacle number 88. That's where he's buried. Again, that's where I got with the Masons. Maryland still. And then his wife Mary, which we don't have the maiden name, so that makes it really hard. There's probably a lot of Mary Masons. Mary's a very popular name, right? When we close that, we go to his wife, William's wife, Harriet Mason. Now, a lot of people put William. I think this is the one. I left Williams, but I didn't really. Let me see. Okay. So again, I don't know. Georgie Mason. I don't even know why this is here. Oh, okay, because remember this, we had the 1910, which she's the mom of Mammy. So I don't know if Georgie is Harriet Georgia or Georgia Harriet Mason, maybe. I don't know. I do see Mammy here, but I don't know how to link those to the 1910 census. So that's a little. This is what I was saying. This part right here was confusing. So I just left it alone. I didn't continue anymore because I'm like, I ain't trying to add anything wrong. Let me see if the lady's here. Kim Gillard, Caroline Cannon. Those are the same people. The Family Finder. Oh, she's so lucky. She's so lucky I didn't find her. That's not her. She's so lucky I didn't find her. So look, she has Robert Williams as the parents, right? Go into that profile. There's no really no whatchamacallit. There's no sources. Now she does have a family that she probably copied that from. Let me see. Let me show you. Maybe I'll find that lady. Let me see. Just nope. That's not her. But they have Del Bar. And again, let me see what sources they got. No sources. You guys see? No sources. All right. That's why I don't add things like that. Yvonne Clark has the parents as well. And that's her. That's not the lady I was looking for. She's so lucky I haven't found her. And this is a private tree, so you can't even see if she has sources. So that's why I didn't add it. I put Williams just in case to see if I get any hints for Harriet, but I don't really know if these people are right. I don't really know that. I can't verify that. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's on the Mason side. We close that. And we go down to Davis, Helen Davis, right? Remember, those were his grandparents. And that was all his paternal side. We're done his paternal side. You see how long that took? You ready for his maternal side? Right? Now, Janice Smalls, you guys know that's his celebrity mom. She's like literally a celebrity. I don't have any pictures of her, I think, but you guys know what she looks like. And hey, she's a bit controversial to me right now because she's backing up P. Diddy. She's saying, "Oh, my son, no, he never did none of that." Now, she has a lot of history too. A lot of people say she owned brothels and she owned escorts. A lot of people say that's same as prostitution. uh, you know, well, we all adults here. We kind of know the name escorts a lot of times does translate to that. Okay. Anyways, Janice Smalls. She's born in New York, but her parents are Herbert Smalls, South Carolina. All right. Yeah, now that's a Huguenot state, very much so. And then Jessie Miriam Collier. She dedicated a restaurant she opened to her mom, Jessie Collier. She says she loved her food, the Southern food and all that. And so she eventually opened a restaurant, Mama Duke's or something like that, which she used to call her mom. But we're going to go up the Smalls side real quick. Herbert Smalls. So again, remember Biggie Smalls. Who named him that? Biggie Smalls. Who named him that? To me, it's really funny that his mom's a Smalls, and he had Biggie Smalls under his label. Anyways, so 1920 census. Herbert is 1 year old, coming out of Charlestown, a free people of color town and city. Very much so. 1600s, 1700s, 1800s until Reconstruction. Then something happened. Yeah, disfranchisement of so-called black folks. All right. So Clayton, hold on. Herbert, 12 here in 1930. Clayton and Rosa, the parents. That was weird. Hold on. Did I add this wrong? Herbert Smalls was one. They got different parents. Oh no, they got Clara. Let me see. Yeah, they do have different parents here. Now, let me see. That might not even be him right here. I do know Clayton and Rosa is his parents, confirmed by um, Henry Gates and almost all the families, and there is pictures of them and everything. So this Herbert, look now, look at this. Is this really say Herbert? I mean, that's hard to read. That might be a whole different person. I might have added that incorrectly without realizing. Okay, I do know for sure. You can verify if you like that these are his parents. Clayton Smalls, which is in the 1930 census, and again, son, relationship to the head of household was Clayton and Rosa, and these are the siblings. So that's why I'm able to verify. These are the correct siblings, and they were in Orangeburg, not in this one's in Charleston. See, that's a whole different town. So this one right here, I'm actually going to remove. I don't even know why this is here. I might have added that by mistake. So you got to always catch yourself too when you go back. Okay. Here we go. Herbert Smalls, marriage license here. Clayton. And now we got Annie. That was a different wife. Clayton had another wife named Annie, but his mom is Rosa. Thomas. Look at that. Thomas Brian Small. So there was a Thomas. The person was right earlier. Okay. So here he is in a World War II draft. Okay. So we're going up to his parents, Clayton Smalls. And let me just show you, Clayton Smalls is born in Orangeburg. So yeah, this is why. So we're in Orangeburg more than Charleston. Orangeburg. Okay. And Clayton here is 13 years old. They're living in Collington here when he was 13. The son of Lewis and Mary Small. Okay. And these are his siblings. Just want to show you this picture right here of them. I put it in the cover, but I colorized it too. So let me show you. All right, you guys see that? So that's Clayton and most likely Rosa or Annie, because he had two wives. I think he ended up with Annie at the end. So I think Rosa was first. So this either is Rosa or Annie, not sure. That's Clayton right there. Okay. Yeah, you know, it's a trend when you sorry, I'm reading the chat and just saying yeah, but usually when somebody's in the military, it means that their parents were in the military or their grandfather was in the military. It's like a family thing. I've noticed it's a trend when I do genealogy. Yeah. Okay. So again, that's death certificate. There we go. Clayton's death certificate. Oh no, Rosa. That's his wife Rosa's death certificate. And she was married to a Bryant, but she's a Thomas, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, right here. So father's name, Pink Thomas, as you guys can see. And mother's name, Sarah Crum. Informant, look at the informant, Jesse May Adams. All right, Jesse. So this is what I'm saying. This is based on the informant, not because they got any records. So we gotta trust the informant. And we see that Jesse is one of the children. Jesse May Adams, you see? So you should know. So moving up on the small side, let me see how far I got. Okay, we got to Lewis. Okay, yep. Hold up. Okay, so Lewis Smalls. And 1900 census, he's 53, so obviously we don't got the parents here. He's probably living by himself already with his wife. Georgia, death certificate is for a daughter. Let me see. Yeah, so his daughter passed away. They listed him as the dad, you see? They don't know the mom. See, whoever the informant is, this is what I was saying earlier. So Lonnie Smalls, whoever that is, to Lewis, or this person, didn't know her own family, didn't know her grandma, her mom, or whoever it is. They left it out. She's put don't know, DK. So that happens a lot. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these death certificates, these obituaries, even the graves be wrong sometimes. So double check the death stuff, guys, because it's always based on an informant most of the time. And if the informant is wrong, if he guessed, or like this one, she admitted she didn't know. That was better than guessing. If she would have guessed, you know, you don't know if she could have been right. But Just trying to look into. Okay, so where did I get his parents from? Okay, I think I got his parents from family members. Let me see. Mary, mother Susan. So there goes the mom from Andrea and Wildy. Does she have a source for that? Not really. Okay. Yeah, she has no source for the mom, but hey, she got it from somebody else probably. And then this person, Bacotti Family Extensions, that has Patrick and Suzanne. And then this person, the family father. I think these people just we've seen this family already, the family finder. So they just a lot of them again just copy each other. So now this person has Patrick and Susan, but she's getting it from Jeannie. Jeannie community. A lot of that is manually entered and no sources when you go there. Let me just show you. All right, I'm not making this up. I've done extensive, trees, so I know what these sites mean. They won't even let me go to it. You see that? It's probably not even a real source. So when you go to GNet community, you'll see it's just trees. It's not no sources or anything. It's just you just add it manually. There's no sources. So I don't like trusting Genie, but I gave these people the benefit of the doubt, and I just added it. I just added it. I'm gonna be honest. I just added this one without knowing, guys. That might be his parents. That might not be his parents. Either way, Patrick Smalls. Well, she has no sources. See, she has no sources for him. That's what I'm saying. Or for Susan. Look, no sources. All right. I might be wrong. We all might be wrong. Okay. So that's where I got the parents from other family members that are supposed to be descendants, right? I'm supposed to be able to trust them, right? Okay. I was on Topcats last week. No, I wasn't. I think he played that was like an old interview he did of me, like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. That was not new. That was old. And then he made it a members only video, so But I'm actually glad he played it again. I much respect because I was listening to it when he was playing it. So I know what you're talking about. I'm just telling you right now, that wasn't new. That was like 2 years ago. Um, he asked me some real questions, and I actually was listening to it, and I forgot everything I had said. So I was like, wow, man, thanks for interviewing me like that, so people can actually get things from my mouth, not what others say, about me. So I respect, Top Cat a lot for that. I think he's really coming around when it comes to when I say in America's a true old world and the whole Israelite thing. Again, I wasn't talking about religion. I think before he used to confuse me with Hebrew Israelites and Pan Africans and all that, and I think I was just talking about religion. A couple times he was kind of making fun of this, being Israelite. So I kind of lost, you know, for a while. I'm gonna be real with you. If he's listening, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. I didn't like that. So I was kind of like stayed away for a while, but then I kept coming back because I saw his topics and I listened to him on other topics, and he does do a good job when it comes to research, right? But I think he's coming along now because I saw recently he's talking about the Israelite stuff, right? And he's starting to realize what I was trying to say. So, so shout out to him if you follow him and all that. Again, no hate, nothing but love. And I just respect anybody who never disrespected me in any way personally and actually gave me a chance to talk for myself. So I respect him a lot for that. So as you guys can see, Patrick, I don't have anything more. So we got to the Smalls. We're in South Carolina. That's as far as we got. And again, just for fun. Just for fun, right? Smalls, Scotland, Ireland, English. Scotland's coastal mountains and the Hebrides Islands were known in ancient times as the Kingdom of Dalriada. The name Smalls evolved there as a nickname for his person who was small in stature. Small is a nickname surname, which belongs to the category of hereditary surnames. All right, so that's just according to what they're saying here, right? But look at the logo. He got a lion there. He got a little lion there, right? And then it says Edward Smalls, age 19, landed in America, 1892. That's very recent. We're way beyond that. So we know they were there before that, right? Look, Patrick Smalls, 1807, right? So sometimes that website doesn't have it all figured out, all right? And that's where we got with the Smalls. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. His wife, Susan Smalls, and we don't know her maiden name. She's here, living, well, with Patrick, right here. They're at an old age still, in Beaufort, South Carolina. Kusawachi. She got a couple hands. Let me just look at them. So Susan, South Carolina, 1870. This wasn't here earlier. So called black. She's 50 here. All right, let me see. I do have a Robert, so I think that's her. There's a Robert here, son. I'm gonna add this one. Okay, 1910. In Beaufort, that's where she was, too. Widowed, that makes sense. Oh, wow, look at that. 100. Wow. Amazing, right? Lived to 100. And then it says a death record. Maybe we have a parent here. Susan Small, age 72. Well, see, this one says 72. That other one was living to 100, so it's not making sense. Is this her right here? This could be a whole different Susan Smalls. All right. So something I actually have to follow up on. All right. I just want you guys to see I do this raw. And again, I try to verify as much as I can. I don't just try to add things. I want you guys to be able to do the same. Okay. Look, I added these two sentences and it didn't add it. Sometimes this website works, it does funny things like that. Let's see if we have no parents here either on the other families. That's where I got in the Smalls. All right, so you guys see we're kind of ending at the same period for almost all his ancestors. Okay, and again, guys, I mean, how many slaves have you found so far? You're talking about 90% were slaves in Maryland. Stop lying, Henry Gates. Not in Pete Diddy's family. Go back to Clayton. We're gonna go up to Rosa, and again, remember she was listed as having Pink Thomas as the parent and Sarah Crum as the mom on that and her death certificate. So that's where we got that from. And I did find some sources for a Pink Thomas, but let me just show you. Here's Rosa, right, with her parents. So we got that. And then another death certificate, we got most likely, same thing. It's the same one. It's just doubled for some reason. We got a Civil War soldier here. I don't know if this is him, but it could be Confederate. That's nothing to worry about. It was a lot of the Confederates were so-called black. History's been taught to you wrong, guys. All right, I just attached this because I thought, maybe. And then we got him as the father here, which after thinking about it, I was like, could this be the dad still alive in World War II? So there might be a Pink Jr. is what I'm trying to say, a Pink Thomas Jr. that we don't have yet. Or maybe he is that old. Look, 1847, when was World War II? He might have been like in his hundreds or 90s, right? Maybe he is still alive. Yep. So, and then we got another wife here. So there was a Thomas. There was somebody who said that he is a Thomas. So there's a Thomas line here. Now, since there is a Thomas, let's check out Thomas. Again, just for fun. England, Germany, Wales, Welsh, Irish. It says the roots of the surname Thomas lie in the rugged landscape of Wales. Now, guys, I know a lot of I hate using crayon colors to name people, but I don't know how else you guys are going to know what I'm talking about if I don't reference it like that. So a lot of so-called white people get upset when I say that the ancient Welsh were very, very dark-skinned people. I've shown the sources, like, oh man, I've shown so many. They get mad at me. They get really mad at me. They get all offended and stuff. But hey, if you descend from any of these people that were swarthy back in ancient times, Embrace it. Yeah. So what if you had swarthy ancestors and you're a so-called white person now? So what? uh, so a couple of Thomases settled in Virginia. As you guys see, coming the ship Temperance. Here's your slave ships. Southampton, the Speedwell. Here's your slave ships. Oh man. Cheddar Man. Cheddar Man. You know what Cheddar Man. You know what Cheddar Man is. All right. So on the Sarah Crumb side, Crumb. I didn't get much on her. Don't know. I did a search. I didn't find anything. And again, just for fun, Crumb, English, Scottish, Irish. The name Crumb has a history dating as far back as the Anglo-Saxon Saxon tribes of Britain. It was a name for a person with an abnormal curvature of the spine. You see that? The surname Crumb is derived from the Old English word crump, which means bent or crooked. Interesting. Are these correct? Some of them kind of like, they're missing some info. They're missing some context, a lot of them sometimes. But in general, they pretty accurate in general. Okay. So Crumb, that was Rosa's parents, Thomas, we close that. And then we go back down to Herbert, right? That's how we got there. And then we go to his wife, Jessie, Miriam Coulier, who was Puff Daddy's maternal grandmother, right? She's also being born in Holy Hill, Orangeburg. This is her a picture if you guys want to see it. Okay. And wow. Okay. So we definitely know George Selous Collier, Macy's her parents. Henry Gates is going to confirm that. We also got it here somewhere. There we go. John's maternal grandmother was Jessie Miriam Collier, the daughter of Judge Julius Collier Macy Anderson. Okay, and then they got the son of Garrison Collier and Anna Glover. That's what we have. I'm just going to show you. All right, and this is all her records. Her parents, again, Judge Selous Collier. Coming out of St. James Goose Creek, Berkeley County, South Carolina. 1900 census. He's 14. And they put Manson here, but I don't think it's Manson, guy. Let me show you. I was like, why did they put Manson and everything else says Garrison, even Henry Gates confirmed. Now I was looking at this. Look, I know it looks like Manson, but look, pay attention. This could be a Garr. R-I, that's some Garrison. That could be Garrison. That could be Garrison. The cursive. But here's Anna Glover, the mom. And here's Judge right here. Here's Judge. All right. And they actually put George for him on one record. They probably heard Judge, George. It's probably heard Ron. They said George. That the census takers did that a lot. They'll put whatever they hear and they'll spell it however the way they want. They're not verifying. Okay. See, this is what I was saying. George Collier to Macy. But this is her and this is them, guys. This is Jessie right here, the daughter. They just messed up and put George in the digital part. Right. Judge Courier. This is I think his death certificate. No, this is oh, this is a child they had. So Judge Courier, you guys see, don't know the mom. They didn't put oh yeah, they put Macy Anderson. And I guess they had a baby that passed away, or a daughter that passed away, or Will. Sorry, Will. Is that a male? Boy. Okay. All right. Let me just go up. I think hey, Parkhead Williams, thank you for the donations. I forgot to say thank you. And 11 Noses 11, thank you. Appreciate the donation very much. Thank you. That was earlier. All right. Well, we're one draft. You see, a lot of his people in the military, relative Macy, Azel, Orangeburg. Social Security claims. Let me just see. Macy. Okay, we got that earlier. So George, so yeah, Garrison and Diana, or Anna Glover. So a lot of people call her Diana. And those are the parents coming out of Berkeley County. Let's go up the Collier side. Now, when it comes to Garrison, I added Albert for a certain reason. I'm going to show you guys what Henry Gates said. I'll come back to this. And he literally says, we think, we believe this is his dad. So Garrison Collier, 1807, Gason Collier, they spelled his name wrong here. St. James Goose Creek, so called black, right? That's him. And Jane. And then 1880, Garrison Collier. You see they spelled the name wrong again. He has a different spouse here. St. James Goose Creek, still 1900. They put, this is where they put Manson and messed up. Here's where Anna. So it seems he had a couple wives before Anna, which I have here, Jane, and then I have Eve and some kids with her. So here's Garrison listed. Here you go with Anna. And Bradford passed away. That's the death certificate for him. Then we got Carrie Benjamin, another child, Garrison and Diana. Here she's called Diana, you see. South Carolina deaths. Here's another child, Garrison and Diana or Anna Collier. Another death certificate. So this is why I verified. This is a lot of records to verify his real name, his actual name. And again, when I go into that 1900 census, I can literally see how they messed up and put Mason. They just, they don't even teach cursive anymore, right? When we were young, we had to learn cursive. At least I did in Boston. I had to learn cursive. I don't know if you guys, how young you guys are or old, but all right. So Albert, we're gonna get back to Albert. That's where I got stuck anyway. So on the Collier side, this is kind of as far back as I went. Right, talking about his second great grandfather, and he might be the son of a wealthy plantation owner. Doesn't mean he's white. With maybe a servant, or maybe his wife would have that status. So Collier, coming out of England and Ireland, says the name Collier finds its origins with the ancient, again, look how many Anglo-Saxon names he has. And his family, guys. It was given to one who worked as a person who made it sold charcoal. The surname Collier is derived from the Old English word coal, which means coal. As such, it is thought to have originally been an occupation name for burner or charcoal, or gatherer of kellar or coal. But also, coal means very dark complexion too. There's other. If you go into the coal history, you'll see that they'll tell you it also meant somebody of dark complexion. So there's a couple Colliers arrived in Jamestown. Look at that. All the way back in Jamestown. Daniel Collier in Virginia, 1618. William Collier here, coming from London. Ended up in the Plymouth Company. So these Colliers, look, they're one of the first settlers in the Americas, right? Interesting. Who knows if they go back that far? Who knows? Maybe, right? So that's the Collier side. Let me go back. Again, I'll go back to Albert. Just keep that in mind. Diana Glover. So Diana's maiden name Glover. Born in South Carolina. Sorry, I was talking to my son. And that's as far as I got with her. But I do know she's a Glover. Born 1866, a little younger. That's what I was saying. That was like his other wife, second wife, third wife. He's like 20 years almost younger. And just again, for fun, since we've been doing it all night, Glover. Coming out of England, Scotland, Ireland. The people known in ancient Scotland as the Picts. Ancient Picts. Oh, I know we're talking about melanated folks here. Were the forefathers of the Glover family. It is a name for a glove maker, which was an important trade during the medieval times. So I have a very strong theory. I think I'm very right. I think we're going to prove it one day. And I think reading the book Ancient and Modern Britons kind of tells us these are, he's literally calling them Moors or pigs or gypsies in that book. And he's relating them to American Indians. And I mean, a lot of the pigs are the original people in these areas before the Norman invasion, right? A lot of the pigs became Highlanders. A lot of the pigs became the clan Chatan, the cat, the cat clan. So I know they were tattooed up, just like a lot of American Indians were tattooed up. That's why they get the pigs from. So I think one day we're gonna discover that, and we're gonna prove that they were coming out of the Americas or so-called Atlantis. I mean, look at the family. Look at the crescent moon. Wow, like today it's considered like an Islamic symbol, right? So that was Glover. Going back down, we're going to Judge Cooler and his wife Macy Anderson, just to show a picture of Maisie, right? I haven't even seen how many people are here. Oh, okay, we got a lot of people watching. Hey, welcome. Where are you guys usually? So you guys only interested in the genealogy videos. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Where you guys usually? All my videos are important. It is about history. It all relates. It all relates. You got to have the full context. You got to have the full context. So this is Macy Anderson right here. Okay. Again, another surname Anderson. Um, right here, she's 9 years old, living in St. Goose Creek, Berkeley, South Carolina. The daughter of Adam Anderson and Hester Anderson. Okay. Marriage license here to Jesse. Oh, you guys see. Saw that earlier. Death index. I believe she married right after on a second husband. Here they got the son of the will passed away. We were seeing that earlier. Okay. So her parents again, Adam and Hester Bannister or Bonster. We're gonna see that. A lot of her siblings here. Shows that. So we go up to let me see. Okay, yeah, we did get that. Adam Anderson, born in 1859, Berkeley County, South Carolina. So again, when did slavery end, guys? Supposedly. Supposedly. All right. Remember, Abraham Lincoln is a so-called black man. So what do you mean they freed all the blacks? That's the hijack. We just saw so many free people of color, right? So 1870, Adam is 12, living in St. James Goose Creek, the son of William Anderson and Lucy. This is where I got the parents, okay? Hey, Jackie, thanks for letting me know. That makes me feel better. Yeah, yeah, I know. I know a lot of people just watch me later on. I know. Here's Adams again at 21 still with William and Lancy. They put Linz, Lancy, Lucy. They named her a lot of different ways. All right. And as you guys can see, I put all of them. I put Linz, Lancy, Lindsay, Lucy, just in case, so we can get all the records. And here he is. So I'm very sure I got him correct. Here's his death certificate, so-called Negro. Milhan. Here's his dad, William Anderson, his mom, Linz. And at first I couldn't read this, but it's Granger. She's a Granger, supposedly. Granger. Okay. And who's the informant? MC Anderson, somebody Anderson. So it must be related, a son or something. So that's what you got to look into too when you look at the death certificates. Who's informing the hospital? And that will tell you for sure. Because if you see the name here, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's one of the daughters, that's one of the sons. Okay. This is most likely Hester's death certificate. Yep, Hester, his wife, married to Adam Anderson. Oh, yep. And this is where I got her maiden name. Luckily, we have this here. So we got January Bannister or Bonster Bannister and Mary. They don't know her maiden name. Who's the informant? Nichols Brown, I think it says. I don't know, I can't read that. Bound, I don't know. By somebody most likely related to them. All right. So you guys see, we're gonna keep it going up. Up. Why they put us all the way down here? Now they're hating. Okay. So William Anderson, and we got two new hints. I didn't have this earlier. Well, we got the directory listing, so I'm gonna add that. And then we have a family. Oh, look at this. They have parents. This I didn't have this earlier. This is what I'm saying. You build your tree, you might start getting hints later on, a couple hours later, a couple days later, a couple months later. Trust me, I've seen it happen. Many trees. All right, so let me just see if they got sources for this, because you can't just add anything. Remember, I don't just do that. So William Anderson, 1870, he's 28. He's not living with no parents. Biography, let me just, the causes from the beginning, first up in London, Oxford. Okay, that's not in there. South Carolina, US, and nope. So unfortunately, I would have to trust this person to be right. You know, it. I mean, it makes sense because William had a son named Adam, right? And maybe he named his son after his grandfather or his dad, right? It sure sound great. Thank you. I appreciate the donation. Thank you. You're amazing. You've been supporting for all these years. You're amazing. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Okay. Um, hmm. So this person has no sources. Let's see where they're getting it from. He must be getting it from a family tree. So here's another one, right? They have the parents too. All these people have the parents. So let's see which one has a good source. Okay. Uh, let me see. Nope. Nope. That's for the death certificates of their children, not for them. We have that one. Okay. Yeah, so no parents listed here, no sources. So they probably got it from another family as well. Let me check this one. They got, see, everybody got the same sources. This one right here, something's wrong. You see how they got two 1900 census? One of them is wrong. All right, so this one is William Anderson, Goose Creek. He's widowed. All right, and he's so-called black. And then this one, 1900. William Anderson, Goose Creek. It's the same one, so it's the same source. It's just a duplicate. Okay. But sometimes people have two different 1900 census and it's two different people. So I'm like, make up your mind. Which one is it? Okay, so I'm just trying to see if they got parents here or a death certificate for William. Nope. So here's Adams. Okay, so it kind of makes sense. I mean, he might have named his son after his dad. Still, I don't just add things, because I got to make sure. What I do usually is I contact these people and I say, hey, how do you know this was the parent? They respond on Ancestry. You can send messages, guys. Let me just show you. Let me see if I can open this. No, I can't open it. Don't let me open it. Okay, here we go. Let me just show you. There's a whole message thing here. You can contact everybody who has a tree, and look at all the messages I gotta check. A lot of people starting to contact me because I have so many trees done. I've helped so many people, and they're like, "Hey, are you related to me? Or why do you have this? Why do you have that?" Oh, look at this! Look at this! This is awesome. Look at this, Amelia Hudson. Look what she's saying. This is awesome, guys. I hadn't checked this. It says, "Hello, H. Chorotega. I'm a descendant." Oh, okay. I thought she's saying she is Chorotega. That's one of the tribes I descend from. I'm a descendant of Peyton Felder. Are you a descendant too? You see? So then this is when I respond. I have a whole template. I say, no, this is my channel. I probably help one of your relatives. If you're interested to follow me and what I do, and I kind of even tell them, history's been taught wrong. All Europeans run white, and everybody that's so-called black didn't come out of Africa. You might be American Indians, you might be black Europeans too, And a lot of people get mad. They respond to me like, oh man, a lot of people are like, oh, interesting. I'll check it out. And then that's it. They don't ever get back to me. But yeah, you can't be biased when you're doing genealogy. And if you don't got the right history, you probably won't do genealogy correctly, you know? Anyway, so that's an example, is what I'm saying. So this is what I do. How do I verify these people? Like manager has these parents, right? So I'll say, hey, manager 852, and I hit them a message, right? You hit message right there, and then you can say, hey, how do you know Adam and Emily are William Anderson's parents? Now, a lot of people are honest and say, I don't really know. That's just a placeholder. I just saw other people. It just came up as a hint. Some people say, well, we have a family Bible. Our mom told us, our grandma told us that was her grandparents, something like that. That makes me feel way more confident, you know? So you have to really work, guys, when you're doing genealogy. You got to really put in the work. You got to do all this tedious work, got to contact people, you know? Terry Armstrong has the parents too. Let's see if he has any sources. Yeah, not all these people got the same sources. None of them have the parents as a source. So somebody's copying somebody, right? And whoever put it first, who knows? Let me see, because I just showed you all the trees that have it. This is the last one. Look, no sources. And then she has another, she's getting it from other people. Dale Richburg. Let's see. Did I already look at Dale Richburg? I don't think so. Dale Richburg. Same sources. Let me see. Nope, that's not his death certificate. Okay, these are the children's death certificate. That's why he's listed in them. Nope, same ones. See, everybody has the same sources. Okay, this person doesn't have a source for the parents. We already checked manager. Dakota. Let's see. I don't think I've checked Dakota. Dakota. Oh man, he just got a bunch of family trees. I already know these are the same death certificates. See, Mabel Pratt and Elmer. So I think you guys get it. I haven't found anybody with a real source for that. Why don't I just add it? Because a lot of times, guys, it's not right. They'll try to add white folks, or they try to add somebody that has not related to you. Now, supposedly there's a source for this guy, a source for this guy. Does the link to William? Let me see. He is in St. James Goose Creek, but there's no William here. You see that? I mean, 1870, let me see. William would have been a lot older, so he would have probably been living on his own, maybe. But look at this. This Adam was born 1825. That doesn't make sense. We have 1805. Do you guys see? You guys see that? That's way off. That's way off, man. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people just add stuff, guys. That could be the same Adam, his son. That might be his son, actually. Or a brother, right? He might have a brother named Adam. Pizarro, that's what we just checked. Hopbrook. 1870, same source. Death certificate. Yep. Death certificate. Yep. Yep. So this is all the stuff William Gates never shows you. In those episodes. Donald Jenkins. You see, there's a lot of trees that have this. But where's the sources? Somebody must know. Everybody's just copying everybody else. This is a private tree. He might have source, but we can't check. And this was empty. So you saw, I checked all the family trees, and none of them had sources, guys, for the parents. But you see, it comes up to me as a hint. So that's why a lot of people just go, boom, check, review selected 3 hints, and they just add it automatically. Just add it. But look, this is what I'm saying. This ain't making sense. Look at the people they're adding. 1825. The 1 week, look, oh man, I'm glad you guys I'm watching. All those people are wrong. I just realized they're all wrong. Why are they wrong? Because William was born in 1828. How could his dad be only 3 years older than him, guys? How can his dad be only 3 years older than him? That might be a brother. That might be his brother. Because it's in the same town. But I'm glad you guys saw that. I should have just checked. I should have just checked that right away. I would have not even checked all those trees. All right. I just wasted my time there. Okay. This is what I'm saying, guys. Verify. Make sure you're looking at the dates. Make sure you're looking at everything. Make sure. Make sure. Okay. So again, that's where I got with the Andersons. A black German from the Black Forest. I mean, what do you mean? What does that mean? I think it's very obvious. I don't know about the Black Forest, but if he's listed as a black German, well, what do you think that means? Yeah. Hey, Jackie, please catch up on the videos. Remember what Benjamin Franklin was saying about the Germans coming in the 1700s. All swarthy. He was like, man, why are you bringing all these black Negro uh, Germans over here? Why? He was complaining about it. So Anderson, look at this. Denmark, Germany, Scotland, Swedish, Ireland. They've been all over those places. On the Scottish West Coast, the Anderson family was born among the ancient Dalriadian clans. Ancient. Their name comes from the given name Andrew. Oh, so they're related to the Andrews. Shout out to Drop. He just dropped the video. Prester John 147, I think. He's letting you know the history of the Andrews. Come on. Come on now. Look at that. X marks the spot, right? That's the top. Look at that. Just like the Confederate flag, just like the Scottish flag, the Jamaican flag. Okay. Yeah, go check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. He's on number 147. Okay, so go to his wife, Granger. They're saying his dad is Aaron Albert Way. That's what Ancestry is trying to give me. And then we got other family members here who put Albert Way too. Let's see what they got. (1870). We have this one already with William. Now there's an 1850 slave schedule here. Check it out. Now they're trying to say that this is her, somebody who's 7. Let me show you. There's no names here. This is a slave schedule, right? So they're saying that Aaron A. Way is the slave master, right? This is a slave schedule, slave owner. And supposedly this is her. Supposedly we're supposed to trust this, right? With no names. Also, pay attention. There's one that's 34. That's most likely him. One that's 21, who's black, wife, and then these are probably the kids. They did this, guys. I have a video with the interviewing a lady. Shout out to Wanagi. He showed the interview where the lady's literally telling you that the census takers came with the regular census and everybody's family, right? Occupation. Then they came with the slave schedule and put her grandfather's or great-grandfather's wife as the slave and everybody else as slaves on the slave schedule. And then the ladies interview, but these were family. Yeah, they were family. We all family. If you don't believe me, go back into my videos. That's what I'm saying. Catch up, guys. Catch up. So now we're supposed to trust this. This is what I'm saying. So look how they're trying to add this. I mean, how do I know that's her there in the first place? She's a Granger. She married as a Granger. Where did the way come from? Now, is this her dad and he got with a Granger lady who's a servant? Maybe. Maybe. Did she have a status of so-called slave because of the status of her mom? Maybe. But then I'd be guessing. Right? I'd be guessing. You want me to guess? You want to just become a slave based on a guess? You want to just say, oh yeah, my people were enslaved based on a guess? Okay. I'm just trying to make you think of something. Don't automatically just add things, guys. There's no first name for the mom. It's just Granger. I do know that she married Anderson as a Granger. Okay. Oh no, she was listed in the death certificate of Adam, their son, as Lince Granger. Okay. So the way, I don't know. And then the Granger we're supposed to trust. Look, they didn't put no Granger. Like Ancestry's only giving me the supposed dad. That remember, that's the slave owner. Again, a lot of times I've caught them giving me the wrong parents, where they say potential parents, and I remove that. I say no, and then the real parents come up. Many, many times. I've done this in front of many people when I help them with their genealogy. All right, I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to just conjecture just because Henry Gregg said that 90% of blacks were enslaved. So Granger, coming out of all these countries you see here, the Granger surname comes from the Anglo-Norman French word Granger, from the late Latin granicarius. It was an occupational name for a farm bailiff, responsible for overseeing the collection of farm rents in Scotland. Okay, so interesting. It's funny how this looks like corn. Interesting. Okay, so some of them landed in Virginia and New England in the 1600s. Then some in 1700s in Louisiana, Maryland. Look at that, Maryland. But we're in South Carolina with these people, actually. Yep. Okay. And then Hester Bonster. Remember, we got the Bonster from the death certificate. We got her parent, January and Mary Bonster or Bannister. They're living in Orangeburg. He was born around 1830. In case you don't believe me, here you go. Hester's parents listed as January and Mary Bonster. And we got some hints here. So here's a grave. This is pretty legit right here. Holy Hill, Orangeburg, same place. Mary Bannister. We don't have her maiden name yet, but they have a child here, which we already had, Ryle or Royal, so I know this is correct. So I'm gonna add this to the tree. And then we got another family who has basically what we have. And so I add that, you know, they got her as, look, they got her as Brown here. Might be a Brown. South Carolina, a lot of Browns were Catawbas and what's his Chris Brown's what's the name? I forget the name. Pamunkeys. A lot of Browns were Catawba Indians and Pamunkey Indians. There was a big Catawba Brown family. I was reading that like a couple weeks ago. So it's not just Pamunkey as I was assuming. It was, Catawbas too. And believe it or not, Pamunkeys and Catawbas were kind of dealing with each other a lot. They were very close proximity. A lot of them mixed together. The informant was a Brown. Okay, I didn't see that. So he might know something. He might know something, right? So let me see. I didn't peep that. Good eye. Good catch. Good catch. Always look at the informant. That's why I said earlier, and I didn't do it. Yeah. You're right. I did say that. Knuckles Brown, right? Looks like Brown. Yep. But Mary, right? But why didn't he? This is what I'm saying. If he's the informant, why didn't he put Mary Brown in the death certificate, right? That's why I'm like, okay. All right. But we got 6 cents here. Let's check it out. Okay, so it's 2 images. That's let me see. Maybe it says Brown on her. Oh, that's hard to see. Wow. It obviously wasn't maintenance. And that's what happens. A lot of these cemeteries have like black folks in them, and they're like overrun. They're not clean. They're like in the forest somewhere. It's on purpose, guys. Because if you start looking into who these people were, you're gonna see these weren't slaves. They just want you to forget about them. So it's Mary Simmons. Who's this? I know Royal Simmons, right? Maybe she had. So let me just show you something. I bet you this doesn't have. Let me look. See where it says color? There's no indication of what the person might be in complexion. Look, it's empty. So a lot of the 1860 and 1850 census, you're going to see that. And they want you to assume these are all pale-skinned people. But we've kind of like found out a lot of times they weren't, because we know they got the same people in the 1870 or 1880 census as black. Same people with the same family, same kids and all that, same place. So, you know, be very careful with that stuff. All right. Siemens 1850. So yeah, these are gonna probably say, yeah, these are, I bet you this one says it's blank too. Okay. But this one has some of them. Black, black, mulatto, mulatto. The rest of them are blank. Again, we gotta trust. I guess that's what suppose they want us to mean, right? Okay. That's what's up, LA. He's still there. He's still there. So Bonster, Bannister, and Bannister. Coming out of England, Ireland, says today's generation of the Bannister family bears a name that was brought to England by the migration wave that was started by the Norman conquest, right? Okay. So, again, we're doing this for fun. I'm saying that you're all European. That's not what I'm saying. So we go back down, and that was coming from Macy Anderson, and that was coming from Jesse Collier, and that was coming from Janice, his mom's. So that was his maternal genealogy, guys. And guess what? We're done. We did Sean Joan Combs, P. Diddy, aka Puff Daddy, genealogy, ancestry. Now you guys have an idea who he is when it comes to his people, where they're coming out of, right? You guys saw mainly Maryland on his dad's side, and on his mom's side, mainly South Carolina. Okay? And again, let me know if you want me to do Kim Porter's genealogy, since I have her here. I'll probably do that one day. Actually, remember I said I was gonna leave something open on the Collier side. This is just because we're gonna come back to that. Okay? Now, before we go for the dismount, I got a video I want to show you guys, right? Open with final video.
It's incredible.
Hold on, guys. And we're gonna fingers crossed. Hopefully they don't copyright this, and if they do, I'm gonna have to remove it. So if you hear me saying that we're gonna play a video right now, if you're watching this video later, and I am gonna play a video for the people who are live now, but if I get a copyright, I might have to remove this part, you know, unfortunately, because that's how they are. They'll be doing that to me, guys. So what we're gonna take a look at now is an interview. Again, he did an episode with Henry Gates, and you guys are gonna see that he verifies most of the tree. All right, here we go. Hold on. Hope you enjoy. And I'm gonna probably stop it and pause a little bit, because he does say some hijacks, I think. I took out all the hijacks, actually. I edited it, so.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Sean credits his father, Melvin Combs, with inspiring his drive to succeed in business. Yet Sean barely knew his father, who tragically died when he was just 2 years old. Sean's mother told him that his father had been killed in an automobile accident. It wasn't until many years later, when Sean was a student at Howard University, that he found an old newspaper article about his father's death. That's how he learned the truth. His father had been a drug dealer, and he was murdered when a deal went wrong. Sean told me that he had heard that his father had served in the military, but he didn't know anything more than that. So we delved into the records at the National Archives, and we found the military file for Melvin Combs.
Name, Melvin Combs. Branch of service, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Air Force.
He served almost 7 months in the Marines and then almost 4 years in the Air Force. As it turns out, a history of military service goes back even further on Sean's family tree, further than we ever imagined. By following the paper trail, we were able to extend Sean's paternal lineage all the way back to his third great-grandfather, a man named Robert Alsop, who was born in Maryland in the 1830s.
All right, so remember, guys, we got to Alsop, and again, he's gonna say they were free. I just want to address something. This fool Damian Clark came out of nowhere, talking smack. Nobody's honoring Sean this guy. We know he's a criminal. We know he's a doo-doo. He's a piece of doo-doo. I'm not honoring him or what he did. We're talking about his ancestors, and his ancestors have nothing to do with him. All right. So you just came just to talk crap at the end of my video for nothing, man. You're a cornball, man.
At the time, Maryland was a slave state. So we figured Sean's ancestor was born a slave. But then we found something that took us by surprise. This is the 1850 census for Baltimore, Maryland. Can you tell me what it says at the top?
Free inhabitants in Baltimore, Maryland.
And can you tell me whose name you see down there?
Robert Alsop.
You know what that means? Your ancestor was not a slave. He was free. Robert Alsop wasn't even the first ancestor on Sean's family tree to live as a free American. Records revealed that Robert's parents, Sean's fourth great-grandparents, were also free. We don't know how they achieved their freedom. By 1850, there were some 75,000 free people of color living in Maryland, the most of any state in the Union. Free Negroes were such a large percentage of the total black population that the white residents were terrified of a free black majority. Now, Sean, this is an article that was published on October 11th, 1856.
A colored man named Robert Alsop was arrested during Thursday night and charged with being a runaway.
Your third great-grandfather, Robert, a free man, was accused of being a runaway and thrown into jail. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine what it must have felt like for him being locked up and
to be innocent. Sean's ancestor was ultimately released from jail, and just a few years later, he would fight in a war that put slavery itself on trial. Now, Sean, take a look at that document.
Robert Alsop, 30th Regiment Infantry, U.S. Colored Troops, Company F.
Your third great-grandfather was a soldier during the Civil War.
It's incredible.
And after the war, he settled in Baltimore, Maryland, where he raised his family. There was one last thing I wanted to share with Sean: his father's entire family tree. Next,
All right, you guys saw I have all those people. You guys can see that's verified. I just want to show you something. I wanted to actually do Robert. No, I'm not going to do it. Anyways, when I hit search on Robert Alsop, a lot of different Robert Alsops came up in the military and the Civil War. A lot of Confederates and Unions. How does he know which one it is? This is what I don't trust Henry Gates. Like, I don't really trust him. Could have been on the Confederate side is what I'm trying to say. We're going to keep going.
I wanted to turn to the other side of Sean's family tree, his mother's side. And we were able to piece together enough clues to trace his maternal ancestors back to the town of St. James Goose Creek in turn of the century, South Carolina.
All right, so he literally made it seem like P. Diddy only had one free one free ancestor. You guys saw how many we found, right? You guys saw that. I didn't really find any slaves. Now, listen to what he says about Garrison, and pay attention. He's going to say, "We believe." All right.
This is the 1900 census record for South Carolina.
Garrison Collier, age 51. Anna Collier, wife, age 34.
Garrison and Anna are your great-great-grandparents. And there's something else in this census that I wanted to point out. Can you see when your great-great-grandfather Garrison was born?
Date of birth, February 1849.
1849, Sean, that's 16 years before slavery ended, which means that your great-great-grandfather Garrison was likely born into slavery.
Okay, you hear what Gates is saying? He was likely, he's guessing, right? And only because he was born before slavery supposedly ended, he's trying to say, oh, we think this one was a slave. He didn't say that about Robert. Robert was born a free inhabitant. He was born before, like, this is what I'm saying. So because he had to show a free person of color, now he has to add the hijack here. And again, watch what he keeps saying. Keep paying attention.
I can't even imagine.
In order to uncover Garrison's life as a slave, we had to find the identity of the man who owned him. So we looked for slave owners with the last name Collier in the county where Sean's ancestors lived. As it turns out, there were 3 of them. The slaves owned by each of these 3 white Colliers are listed in the 1860 slave schedule, not by name, only by age, gender, and color. And when we examined these schedules, there was one Collier slave owner who immediately caught our attention.
So if you guys don't understand what he's trying to say is, okay, he's literally telling him he was a slave. Now we got to find the slave owner so we can verify this, right? So he's literally saying that Garrison got the last name from a slave owner, passed down from a slave owner, you know, that he's an African slave who got named Collier. That's literally what he's saying. So he looked for all the plantation or farm owners, because that's what a plantation owner was. These are just farm owners, guys. You got to be careful with these wordings. They try to make you think plantation meant slavery only. Plantation was a farm, and plantations had many family members working on them who were listed as so-called slaves. So he found an Albert Collier. There was 3 of the Colliers who owned farms in that county. So he found one who had a slave that could be the same age as Garrison. Listen to what he says.
In 1860, there was a white man named Albert Collier living in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and he owned 10 slaves. Your great-great-grandfather Garrison would have been 10 or 11 years old in 1860. Do you see any 10 or 11-year-old male slaves?
Yes.
Albert Collier owned a 10-year-old male slave. And Sean, Albert was the only slave owner in the entire county named Collier who owned a slave anywhere close to your ancestor's age. So we believe that 10-year-old slave is your great-great-grandfather Garrison.
So we believe, you guys heard him. So we believe, we don't know, we believe based on a number. There's not even no names there, guys. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. I hope you guys are seeing the hijack. Now, if we give him the benefit of the doubt, all I see is that's his dad. If that is him in that slave schedule, that's his dad. Not a white man that gave him his name. That's his dad. That's his dad if that's him in that slave schedule. But we're supposed to trust Gates saying, hey, look, I think this is him. I believe this is him. We believe this is him. We believe. That's the hijack. You guys see? This is what they've been doing to all your ancestors this whole time. And this is what genealogists would do to you if you go pay all this money to people who don't know real history.
There's something I wanted to show you, something that tells us quite a bit about your ancestor.
Garrison Collier, age 51, occupation, farmer, owns his own farm.
Owns his own farm. We're rediscovering that we're not just part of a theoretical family of...
So listen to this last part where he's going to say, this part actually, I like this last part though, that he says, listen to how he's telling you, we all, you think it's not just on color. A lot of you are related to white folks, to whoever, you know, it's not based on color. Listen.
Man, but we're truly a global family, bound together by our shared DNA. In spite of all of our apparent differences of skin color, differences of hair texture, we are fundamentally related. We are all descended from common ancestors. We are all, in fact, cousins.
We family, all right? We family. So you guys saw, I hope you saw the hijack. Now, why did I leave this up? So I added Albert, right? I didn't get no sources. That slave schedule didn't come up for me. I added Albert and then I hit search, right? When I added Albert, I hit search because I didn't still look, no hints, guys. I'm not getting no hints. But when I hit search, right, I try to find that slave schedule. It should pop up, right? It should have popped up. And I think this is the one. Let me see. Yeah, this is the one. So supposedly this 10-year-old right here is supposed to be Garrison. Now, if it is Garrison, what I know, and you guys should know because you guys have been following me for a while and I've proven it, that would be his dad. That would be his dad. And this might be a black person, so-called black. All right. That's the hijack. He's trying to make all these so-called people in these slave schedules all supposedly white, and supposedly they all gave their last name to their slaves. That's a fantasy story, guys. That's Kunta Kinte stuff. Remember Henry Gates? He's laughing at everybody taking DNA tests. He's like, you gotta be crazy to believe you can spit in a tube and know your tribe. You guys saw my DNA video. So this is what he showed Puff, and Puff the whole time. If you saw Puff Daddy's face, he's like, huh? Like he's just like, okay. He didn't look very convinced. He didn't look very convinced. But that's out of everything we just saw, guys, right? Out of all the free people we saw, he wanted to show him that. He wanted to try to make him a slave, right? Out of everybody we saw, right? So, guys, we've come to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's getting a little late for me. It's almost 12 where I'm at. It's 11:40 p.m. Let me know if you want me to do Kim Porter's genealogy. Again, I'm working on many genealogies. Let me see if we can get some here. Just remember. All right, we got Malcolm X. I got Chris Brown. I got to do his maternal side. Elijah Poole. Look, you guys know who Elijah Poole is, right? Fantasia Barrino. I thought her last name was very interesting, so I'm doing that. Farrakhan. Look at this. Ice Spice Gaston. I thought she looked very interesting, so I wanted to do her genealogy. I got Kyrie Irving coming. I got a lot coming. I got Umar. Look, guys, Umar is like a total mystery. It's like he's being protected. There's nothing on him. If you guys can help me with Umar, we'll break the code and we'll expose him too. Umar Johnson. There's nothing. His parents are like, I got his parents, but there's nothing beyond that. It's like a mystery. It's like nothing comes up. No records, nothing. It's like this guy's being protected or his records are being hidden. I'm not kidding. Try it out. I'm not kidding. All right. So that's just a few I got coming. All right. That's just a few I got coming. Hold on. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Genealogical Stories. Again, we're not honoring this criminal, this literally like a demon, man. Like now he turned into a demon. Like I'm not honoring him. But because he's in the limelight, I thought people would actually want to come to the channel and see, and maybe possibly we find new people who are interested in real history, and maybe they'll go look at their own genealogy and go look at my other genealogy videos and look at the other videos and realize that we've been lied to about history, guys. So again, this wasn't about honoring this fool right here. Okay, so whoever says something like that, you're the fool. You're a real big fool, man. I know you're probably listening too, man. Come correct next time, man. You're probably one of those trolls that been hating on me. You know, you had to say something negative, right? We got almost 300 people here. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Thanks for taking the time to do that. I got, again, a lot of more episodes coming. I appreciate everybody here. Again, much love and respect because we out, right? We out. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for anybody who donated. Shout out to all my Patreon supporters. You guys holding me up. If you want to support me like that, or you can become a member of my channel. I got a lot of private videos. I'm gonna do a lot of private stuff there, you know, personal stuff for my members only. Cause I ain't trying to, cause again, you saw I got trolls on the daily, guys. I deal with a lot of trolls. Yeah, it's hard, Najiba. It's hard because I got trolling all day, every day, and it gets very, very disrespectful, guys. Like it gets, and I'm human. I'm human, man, and I'm a Capricorn. I ain't no pushover. All right, so let me come at him sometimes. All right, I understand you guys give me good advice, like hey, ignore the trolls, but I gotta come at them. I'm a Dracan. They're gonna feel the heat. They're gonna feel the heat. Sometimes I gotta spit the fire. All right. Again, thanks for tuning in. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go out with good music here. Shout out to Robin Dre. Robin Dre. We're gonna go out with an anthem. Robin Dre. We're gonna go out with an anthem. It's actually called the anthem. Robin Dre beats. Shout out to all my producers. I didn't go out and start looking for producers. These are people who volunteered to send me stuff. So I'm very grateful for all of them. You know, got good music for the end of my videos. All right. Thanks again for tuning in on the live. If you were here, if you tune in later, well, I hope you enjoyed it as well. Much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. Hawaii.